great players in pro football are matched. Quarterbacks Dan Marino of the Dolphins and John Elway of the Broncos. It's Denver versus Miami next on NBC.
Company presents the National Football League. Dealer, the Great American Road belongs to Buick. And by Radio Shack, the technology store.
Joe Robbie Stadium, Miami, Florida, and playing here next January 22nd is the goal of every National Football League team. This is the site of Super Bowl 23 to be seen here on NBC Sports. Good evening, everyone. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy. As you know, the Denver Broncos have been good enough to get to the Super Bowl the past 2 years, but not good enough to win it. They've made a major acquisition in the offseason. Touchdown Tony Dorsett will run for Denver this year.
Yeah, Major is absolutely right, Don. What he does is add a little more foot speed to the Denver defensive backfield, and he is also an excellent receiver for John Elway. I think another factor for Tony Dorsett for this football team is he takes some of the pressure of John Elway off the field. Now the press has got somebody else to talk to, and so far Dan Reeves says he might get the ball 25 or 30 times a game. That's really going to help Denver. There's another factor, too, for Denver. Last year, they didn't really have a chance to look at a young man that I think is going to be a big factor for the Denver Broncos. Ricky Nattiel, draft choice last year out of Florida. He's got foot speed.
The Miami Dolphins offense, of course, is built around the highest-rated passer in National Football League history, Dan Marino. They feel they now have a ground attack in Miami built around Troy Stratford, a second-year back. They call him the Miami ground machine.
He's a slasher. He runs that trap up the middle. He's also an excellent receiver. He's kind of a surprise for the Miami Dolphins. I think they expected him to be good, but not this good. His performance last year made Rookie of the Year on a lot of teams, and he is a dandy. The other guy, the opposite end of the spectrum, a huge guy, a tight end, Farrell Edmonds, a third-round draft choice this year out of Maryland. Don Shula says we finally got a tight end that can get down the field, and another weapon for Dan Marino.
Interesting aspect, Trump, of this game. We have two coaches who like to win preseason games over the years. Reeves and Shula have about 70% wins in preseason play. There's Danny Reeves starting his 8th year as head man of the Denver Broncos. And his counterpart beginning his 19th year with the Dolphins, his 26th as the head coach in the NFL, Don Shula, with the best winning percentage of any active coach in the NFL, over 71%. Tonight's kickoff is brought to you by Budweiser, the king of beers, and Fuad Reves will boot the ball to start it for Miami. Both these teams have similar problems defensively. They both have problems stopping the run and getting the pass rush. They're high-scoring teams, the two top-rated offense in the American Conference. Reves hits the ball deep. Ken Bell is going back for it, but he can't make a play out of it. It's out of the end zone, and so the Denver Broncos will start 1st and 10. Tony Dorsett, beginning his 12th year in the National Football League. He and Dan Reeves know each other well. His first 4 years in the league at Dallas. Dan Reeves was Tony Dorsett's offensive coordinator there. John Elway leads the Broncos. MVP in the NFL last season. Winder and Lang, his runners. Great speed on the flanks, and Vance Johnson and Ricky Nattiel, a big short receiver. And Clarence Kay runs the short pattern. And a good blocker. Elway ready to put it up on first down. Johnson. Langford makes the stop at the 25. We apologize for the technical problems we're experiencing early in the game. As we now look at the Miami Dolphins defensively, across their front they have T.J. Turner, Brian Soche, and John Boza. Eric Kummerow will start at right end. First-round draft choice out of Ohio State. Linebackers are Rick Graff, Jackie Schiff, John Offerdahl, and Hugh Green is starting at the right outside. Made a tremendous comeback, played very little for 2 years because of injury. To the run, Winder breaks it for the moment on a 2nd and 5 play. He is close to a first down, might have it. So Shea, the nose tackle, made the stop for Miami. Dolphins defensively at the corners have Paul Langford and William Judson. The safeties are Lifford, Hobley, and Bud Brown. There's the front three. Kummerow out of Ohio State surprised many when he was picked in the first round, but the scouting system that the Dolphins used had him rated as the 16th best player in the country. First and 10 for Denver on the opening drive. Last year they had a shootout in preseason at Mile High Stadium. Broncos won 31-28 over Miami. Sewell can't get the ball on a curl-in. Coming out of the backfield, Judson defending. That brings up 2nd and 10. Offensive line for the Jariga and Ken Lanier at the tackles. Keith Karts and Stephon Humphrey start at the guards. Veteran Billy Bryan is the setter. And we apologize for problems with technical aspects. The graphics aren't working at the moment. Hopefully they will be shortly, as right now it's 2nd down and 10 for Denver. Opening drive, Wilhite on a slash. And out to the 37, and he got close to 5, and they start up after the play.
Little pushing and shoving in the defensive backfield of the Miami Dolphins. Lifford Hobley got entangled with the Denver Broncos. Don, this year there are just 2 cuts. And there's going to be a lot of pushing and shoving in a game like this tonight, because you can make an NFL roster by showing toughness and showing you'll stick your head in there. I did notice, too, that Miami Dolphins to this point have basically given the Denver Broncos a different look defensively on every single snap. They started with an Eagle defense, the Bear defense, then they went to the 4-man front, and then the 34. Tom Olivadotti, the defensive coordinator of the Miami Dolphins, trying to give his defense a chance. They're young, not very big, so he thinks maybe he can trick them.
There's Olivadotti, the
We have
coach.
offsetting personal fouls. 88 offense, and we did not get the number of the defensive player. They offset the down count. It'll be 3rd down. These were...
Clarence Kay, the tight end, was one of them. He seemed to throw a forearm in there.
A little pushing and shoving. Training camp is long. People get worn out.
Rick Graff, an outside linebacker, 58.
Graff will fight anybody in the stadium.
3rd down and 5 comes up now for the Denver Broncos as they align in the shotgun with unbelievable speed. 3 super fast players aligned to the right side. Coming down with the ball is Vance Johnson with an over-the-middle pattern coming off the right flank. He comes to the other side of the field, takes it over. First down, Denver. Don McNeil in the game as an extra defensive back, a veteran from Alabama, made the tackle for the Dolphins.
Don, with that foot speed, the Denver Broncos try to spread the defense and get man-on-man coverage. You should see Vance Johnson come right across. There, you just see his feet. Very short pattern, just enough to get the first down. And basically, Vance Johnson's foot speed beat Don McNeil across for the pickup.
Johnson is having a tremendous training camp. Doing a lot less talking. That Three Amigos stuff is all gone now. They're concentrating on center. And Sammy Winder takes it again. Good trap blocking up front. Stephon Humphreys, the right guard's a good trap blocker. Local product from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, playing right guard for the Broncos.
See the 2 inside linebackers, 56 Offerdahl, Jackie Schiff, number 50. Schiff is a guy that Miami is still waiting to really come into his own, but he stuck Stephon Humphreys, the right guard, 79 there. Offerdahl makes the tackle for about a 3-yard gain.
Last year, the Denver Broncos had the #1 offense in the American Conference. Miami was second. Miami was first in passing, and Denver was second in passing. As Elway takes a deep drop against the big rush. He throws a spike downfield to the 39-yard line. Coming up the right inside was Clarence Kay, the tight end, who released deep and made a 17-yard gain on the play, and the Broncos drive on.
Did you notice that pattern? Orson Mobley, 89, ran the pattern right in front of him. Straight drop back. So far, John Elway staying in the pocket. You see Miami coming with a blitz. Watch Mobley. Right past his hand into the hand of Clarence Kay. 17 yards and another first down.
Opening kickoff of this game by Fuad Reveiz was out of the end zone. Broncos started from their 20, and they've been mixing the run and the pass. That was the biggest game of the game so far. No score. 10:40 to play first quarter. Elway with good protection and another fastball up the middle to the 32-yard line, but it's dropped. Mobley had his hands on it and lost it. One of the two tight ends. Two of the biggest people in their offense are the tight ends. Bigger than the offensive lineman. Hugh Green was covering on the play.
Again, you see a lot of is certainly one of them that through motion they tried a single coverage. And John Elway with good pass protection that time. A chance to look around there, find the single coverage. That ball should have been caught right in the midsection of Orson Mobley.
Deep speed to the right. Teal and Vance Johnson are flanked out there. Elway on 2nd and 10. Comes near side, and the catch is made, and it looks to be good for a first down. As again out of the backfield is Sewell. This time he makes the grab. He's down to the 26-yard line. A 13-yard gain on the play.
Hugh Green again on the tackle. And you can see all the receivers coming out of there. Sewell a back, H-back, sometimes tight end, sometimes wide receiver. John Elway stands there with time, scans the field. You can see that Sewell's basically uncovered by his own defense. Hugh Green and Hobley on the tackle. Another first down.
John Elway getting better year by year. Hits back. Wilhite makes the cross, and he's down inside the 20. On a 1st and 10 carry, he's ahead for close to 7 yards. So Denver's offense up to speed early in this preseason game. John Offerdahl, Miami's fine inside linebacker, has been 2 times a Pro Bowl player, made the stop.
This is a varied offense, to say the least. A nice pitch. An excellent block on Hugh Green, just keeping him inside there so he can't get out for the tackle. And Ricky Nattiel. He's on the William Judson just getting his way. That's all you got to do.
11th play of the drive coming up here, Trump, on 2nd and short. Right up the middle they go, and they have the power. Gerald Wilhite to get ahead for the first down. He drives the ball down close to the 16-yard line. For the inside backers, Jackie Schiff and John Offerdahl made the stop. There was a criticism of Elway when he came into the league that he wasn't a winner. But in the last 4 years, since he's been the full-time starter for the Broncos, he's quarterbacked more wins than any QB in the NFL, 44 in 4 years.
That is a horrible, horrible statement to make about John Elway. He's not a winner.
Well, he's proved them all wrong.
Dan Marino suffers from the same problem, Don.
3rd and short. Not be enough. Elway takes it himself, and he could be. Well, they'll have to get him. He got the first down. Gene Barth, the referee, signals first down, and so the Denver Broncos drive on this long drive to open the game. No score.
Looks like an audible at the line of scrimmage. Excellent job by Vance Johnson just getting on Hugh Green. He stops him, but just think of this drive. All the different people they've thrown it to and handed it to, Don.
A lot of formations. They've aligned about 12 different ways in this drive, and now the over-the-middle throw is completed down to the 6-yard. A lot of people up front to try to get a rush and stop the run is leaving a lot of room open short. And Marino's taking it apart. Or Elway's taking it apart as he goes to Clarence Kay. As you see, the Dolphins have not given up any first quarter points this preseason.
I think that's about to change. Think of the way this drive has gone. They've thrown it twice to Kay, 3 times to Kay, once to Mobley, once to Vance Johnson, once to Sewell. They've run it 2 or 3 times. Elway on the sneak for the first down.
Now they go to yet another formation, the I set for the first time. Winder. Inside the 5. It's a first down on 2nd and 1. Sammy Winder fighting to hold his starting job. Of course, being challenged by Dorsett. Bud Brown, free safety, came up and made the play with Offerdahl.
Always a bad sign, though, down inside the 10-yard line when your safety is making the tackle. You want those defensive linemen stopping running backs inside the 10, right at the line of scrimmage.
Winder, the leading rusher, as you see there, but they don't get a whole lot of rushing yards. In fact, Denver's had only one runner in the last 2 years who's gained 100 yards in a game. That was Winder. I said again, extra tight ends. First and goal. Winder takes it down close to the 3. Offerdahl and Jackie Schipp filling nicely, getting the block, making the hit. It's 2nd down and goal.
That's an excellent job by Jackie Schipp filling from the inside. Sewell comes in motion. You see all kinds of people stacked up. Height, and then Schipp 50 and Offerdahl make the tackle. Again, Kumaro 90 stuffs the tight end, and that allows Schipp and Offerdahl there make the tackle for no gain.
Jackie Schipp, Miami leading tackler last season, stopped the touchdown hit, but for the moment, and Wilhite goes in. They run the trap, blast open the Miami front, and the Denver Broncos on a state-of-the-art modern-day drive, using everything in the playbook, go right down the field and take it in. Wilhite on the payoff end, and with 6:06 to play in the first quarter, it is Denver 6-0, a 16-play drive that used almost 9 minutes.
And Dan Reeves goes to bed at night and has wonderful dreams. That's what he sees. 16 plays, 80 yards, 6 points.
But you will see Marino leading the Dolphins into the Denver end zone.
Probably not quite as deliberate, but yes.
Rich Carlos hits the extra point up and good. 6:06 to play first quarter, and Denver Broncos go down the field on a 16-play drive. Wilhite on the payoff end at 7-0. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy back at Joe Robbie Stadium with Gerald Wilhite, number 47, on the bench. Just culminated a 16-play, 80-yard drive that used almost 9 minutes of the clock to open the game, and the Denver Broncos have taken a 7-0 lead. Carlos, who hit the extra point, ready to kick off now. Jarvis Williams, a rookie, and Scott Swady, the second-year player, the 2 deep backs to return the kick for the Dolphins. Denver comes in, scoring a lot of points and winning its first 2 preseason games. They've defeated the Rams 40-31. And then they beat the 49ers. Swady takes it back across the 20, out to the 24. Marker comes in, call should be against the Dolphins. And now let's review the touchdown run up the middle by Wilhite.
We got a flag on a kickoff return, Don. See what the penalty is. Gene Barth, the referee.
The Eagles watching it back, number 53, during the run back. 10-yard penalty and a first down.
Watch what happens, Don. You'll see John Elway take the ball out, show it to the linebackers. A good trap block here. And look what this taking the ball out does to these linebackers. They both step this way. Winder able to break it up there for a touchdown. A beautifully run trap at the end zone. Billy Bryan does a good job. Parts does a good job. And Wilhite into the end zone.
16th play of the drive. And here's Stratford turning it upfield, breaking it on the corner, and he's out across the 25-yard line. And Miami on a 1st and 10 from their 15-yard line gets a 14-yard gain from Troy Stratford. Marino at quarterback. Woody Bennett, a protector of Elway. Tremendous blocker. Stratford the runner. Clayton and Pruitt. Duper's been a holdout. They expected him to sign today. No word of that yet. Offensive line has been hurt a bit this summer. Mark Dennis starting at left tackle, and Ronnie Leon for the first time in the preseason at right tackle. Dellenbach in for the injured All-Pro Dwight Stevenson at center. Dolphins break one for 14. It's 1st and 10. Woody Bennett right back the same way. And Woody Bennett's ahead for another Miami first down as he's out to the 40-yard line of the Dolphins. Cornerback Jeremiah Castillo of the Broncos knocked him down about 11 yards downfield.
On that defensive left end of the Denver Broncos, Townsend is in there because the Broncos don't believe that Rulon Rulon Jones can stop the run. Watch him run right around 61. Bennett, not a player with great speed, but excellent size, and that's 2 plays, 20 yards on basically the same cutback at the same spot.
So the Dolphins trailing 7-0. Marino takes the drop, and here's a throw and a drop ball by Bennett at the 45-yard line. First and 10 plays. Dan Marino and John Elway are very close friends, playing each other's off-season golf tournament. Marino, the highest-rated passer in National Football League history, a rating of over 94. Joe Montana, the 49ers, the second all-time. Rulon Jones comes in now to rush the passer on 2nd and long. Number 75, a 9-year veteran at right end. There are the deep backs for the Broncos. Denver defense still reeling after that 35-point onslaught in the second quarter in the last Super Bowl when, after leading the Redskins 10-0, they were blown away, 42-10. Simon Fletcher makes the stop. Stratford brings up 3rd and long, and so Marino will get set in the shotgun with extra wide receivers. Both these quarterbacks like the shotgun.
Jim Jensen, the multi-purpose player for the Miami Dolphins, also in the lineup. He's made famous that 10-yard hook.
Yep. Because he loves to come in and turn a 3rd down into a 1st down, and he gets the least attention because he was one of the slower players. We'll see if Marino goes to Jensen out of the shotgun now. 3rd down and 9. Denver 7, Miami nothing. First quarter, 4:18 to play in it. Jensen, first down, Miami. He's across midfield to the 48-yard line. A 12-yard gain, so he did indeed turn that 3rd down into the 1st down.
Don, what he does is he stands up there in what the NFL calls a double wing set. He's about 2 yards off the line of scrimmage and right outside the tackle. And if nobody blitzes, then he's free to release. So Marino looks all the way downfield, finds somebody open. No, I know I have my release man. Jensen makes the catch. Castillo kind of on a tackle. And a 1st down, Miami.
So the Dolphins now drive on. They couldn't stop Denver on the Broncos' opening drive, and the Broncos unable to stop Miami on their first possession. Bennett, good blocking from the left side. Roy Foster, the left guard, at 282 pounds, a 7-year veteran from Southern California, firing out at the smaller defensive front of Denver. Got close to 5.
Mark Dennis, a nice block, too. They crushed that left side. The 61 Townsend is handled by Foster. Excellent block by Lorenzo Hampton up through there. Well, so far, Dolphins not getting a lot of yards running, but they found a weak spot in that defense, and they're going to keep going there.
Denver defense is fast but not big. Book on how to run on them right at them. Marino on 2nd and 5. Looks and throws, and the ball is dropped by Davenport as he's just inside the 40. There was good coverage on the play, though. Simon Fletcher, who was a defensive end, moved to linebacker. He's one of the fastest Bronco players out of the University of Houston, was covering in well on the play, picking up the first back out.
Joe Collier, the defensive coordinator of the Denver Broncos, very happy to see that Fletcher making the transition from that defensive line. Played a little linebacker last year, but they're going to use him somewhat as a pass rusher, and anytime he can cover a running back out of the backfield, a big plus.
Now Marino on 3rd down and 5 has wideouts, 2 of them to the right, a wing back to the right. Freddie Banks in the game, a big rush coming from Mecklenburg on a blitz, but he gets the ball away to Stratford. Putting on moves, and Stratford somehow gets down to the 36-yard line, and he has a 1st down for Miami. A 7-yard gain, and Stratford, with that great ability to make people miss, gets free and gets ahead for the 1st down on 3rd and 5.
Fletcher and Rulon Jones on the tackle. Don, the best thing about this play is that Stratford realizes what's going on. He recognizes the blitz. Watch him. He sees everybody coming over there and knows he's got to look quick. You saw 77 Mecklenburg right at the corner of Dan Marino, and then he makes that guy miss. Watch this move. Whoops.
Like Harden's history. Finally, he is ahead for the 1st down. Now Marino on 1st and 10 takes a look over the middle. Comes to the line. Looking at Lorenzo Hampton out of the backfield. Marino and Elway were both excellent baseball players. Both were major league draft choices. Marino as a shortstop by the Kansas City Royals. Elway as an outfielder by the Yankees.
In Dan Marino's NFL career, in the last 4 years, he's gained 17,000 yards passing and thrown 168 touchdowns.
Broken all the records for that long period of time. No one's ever been close to that. That early in the career. Now the give goes to Davenport, who tries the right side of the Bronco defense and gets down to about the 34. Broncos shut it down. Broncos have been allowing 5 yards per carry to the rush this preseason. Of course, Washington gained a Super Bowl record 280 yards in that January game.
Interesting comment by Dan Reeves. He said, Carl Mecklenburg is to our defense what John Elway is to our offense. Plays defensive end, plays middle linebacker, plays outside linebacker. There to make the stop on Davenport for very little gain. One of the most versatile players in the NFL, not just on this team.
Third and long, no, he comes up as a defensive end now. They've kept him middle linebacker much of the time, so people can't run away, but he's aligned to the right side as a pass rusher. Marino is a penalty marker down, throws from the shotgun, makes the connection. Running with the ball is Mark Clayton. Other markers down, and yet another marker down as Clayton is down close to the 26-yard line.
I think we got Denver offsides, and we also got roughing the passer. Rulon Jones, 75. Taking out a little frustration on the fact that he's a part-time player, maybe. But he kind of fired Dan Marino to the ground. From the shotgun, Jensen there again to protect in case somebody comes through on the pass rush.
Fouls against the defensive team. Offside, refused, personal foul, roughing the pass. 15 yards, first down.
Calls like that are very tough on defensive linemen, Don. Their heads down. He didn't know if Dan Marino threw that ball or not. But they do try to protect the quarterback, and frankly, I don't blame them.
Rulon Jones, Trump, has not been a happy camper up in Greeley, Colorado. He was incensed when he was told he's no longer the starter, but they said until you can stop the run, you're only going to go in on passing downs. That time he hit Marino late. So the Dolphins drive on with the Denver Broncos leading 7-0, just 38 seconds to play in the first quarter. Both teams moving down the field. Broncos went 16 plays in the opening drive of the game, 80 yards. Will Hyde on a touchdown run. Here's a quick pass in the flat. Running with the ball is Pruitt. Fumbles the ball. And it looks like the Broncos might have it. There is a marker down.
Geez, Pruitt does everything you want. He makes the catch out in the flat. He makes the first guy miss. Dennison comes up with the ball. He kind of had the thing hanging out there, and it looked like Jeremiah Castile, 28, hits it. Excellent throw by Marino, right at Pruitt. You can see the cut out there. Castile, the defensive back, is very loose. He makes the move to the inside. Let's see if he gets his hand on it. Oh, the thing just bounces away because I don't think that was from the hit. I really don't. He was kind of having trouble hanging on to the football. Let's watch this next hit again. See when he tries to change. Oh, he's got it. Oh, that shouldn't be. He should hang on to that football.
So Pruitt coughs it up. The Dolphin drive stalls, and the Broncos take over the ball. So the long drive of the Miami Dolphins is stopped on a fumble. Denver takes over, leading 7-0 with 20 seconds to play in the first quarter. Elway brings Vance Johnson in motion and goes back the other way. Running with the ball is Winder, who fights hard to get just a yard.
Let me go back to that last play, the turnover by James Pruitt, and I'm going to apologize to him. Watch that blue helmet. It's on the head of Mark Haynes, and his helmet hits right on Pruitt's wrist. I don't think anybody can hang on to that one. He did the right thing. He switched arms, but Haynes hit him right on the wrist, and the ball pops loose.
So that'll do it for the first 15 minutes of play. The Denver Broncos on that opening drive continue to lead the game 7-0. We'll be back to Joe Robbie Stadium after this. Back in Miami, number 33, Tony Dorsett, still on the sideline for the Broncos. As they get set now to go second down and 8 from their 3-yard line. They stopped an 82-yard Miami drive when Pruitt was hit after catching the ball. Mark Haynes made the strike that freed the football, and the Broncos recovered. Denver went 80 yards in 16 plays on their opening possession. Took almost 9 minutes off the clock. Wilhite on the score from 3 yards out. Here's a quick throw. Coming down nicely is the tight end, Clarence Cage. So he gets him out of jail and out across the 5-yard line close to the 10.
This Denver Bronco team certainly not afraid to start a drive in the shadow of their own goalpost. That's the Cleveland Browns. First quarter numbers. That first drive by the Denver Broncos is pretty much the time of possession there. A big factor, that one turnover.
Holding 64 offense. We'll go half the distance from the 3 to the 1.5, and we'll replay the down.
Billy Bryan, the center.
He's been a good one, Billy Bryan, in his 12th year from Duke. Denver offensive line, that big, doesn't overpower the defensive line. They block, adjust, slide, get in the way, get the job done. As Winder runs the ball, and he gets not very much at all. He's to head to about the 4-yard line. As Offerdahl, that very good inside backer from Western Michigan, now in his 3rd year, moves in to make another tackle.
Now, Don, when that middle linebacker is there to make the stop on the trap, that means that the nose tackle, Sauché, has done his job. If he can consume 2 people, then Offerdahl can stand there to make the tackle, and he did.
Now let's see what Elway and the Broncos go to now as they have 3rd down and about 8 coming up from their 3-yard line. They lead 7-0 early in the second quarter. John Elway on the run. A first down and more as he dives to the 20-yard line. A gain of almost 17 yards on the play.
Miami had a defense. They didn't do anything wrong. That's a plus for the defense. John Elway is the other aspect of this Denver Bronco offense that you have to account for when you can. But here they've got a 4-man rush. They've got 5 defensive backs. David Fry, 53, is the guy who was there spying on John Elway. Make sure he doesn't get out of the pocket. He allows him to, so the defense, except for 1 man, did their job.
And to Wilhite on first down, and he's ahead for a gain of about 4 yards. The big difference, of course, between Elway and Marino is the running game. Elway is a catch-me-if-you-can player, loves to run, one of the fastest quarterbacks in the league. Marino will run only out of sheer desperation. In their first 5 years, John Elway's outgained Dan Marino 200 yards to 1 rushing. Elway has 1,200 yards rushing in his first 5 years. Marino has 6.
Minus 6. He is minus 6 yards rushing.
Thousands and thousands of passing yards. And now on 2nd down and 6, Elway play fakes and takes a deep drop. Gonna let her rip up the middle to Wilhite. He's got a first down out to the 38-yard line. Gain of 13 yards.
Some offense they've got Miami confused. And this is a big factor for Denver because remember, Mike Shanahan leaves as the offensive coordinator, goes to the Los Angeles Raiders, and now Dan Reeves is the offensive coordinator. Big question. Will things be able to function? Well, so far, Miami thinks maybe the best offensive mind in the game. And these last 2 drives they've had have been spectacular.
First one, 80 yards, 16 plays to open the game, and that's how it stands now to that touchdown, 7-0 Denver. Miami drove right through the Broncos, their first possession. That'll lost it on a fumble by Pruitt inside the 5. Here's Wilhite over the top on a first down carry, and he's close to the 42-yard line. Gain 5. Wilhite's a sensational athlete. Number 1 draft choice out of San Jose State. Runs, blocks, maybe the best hands of any of their receivers. Reminder to our viewers that we'll be selecting a Budweiser most valuable player for tonight's game at the conclusion of the game.
You notice the Miami Dolphins have not blitzed to this point in the football game. That sheer respect for John Elway.
They've kept a lot more people up front in their earlier preseason games. Now they jam the front. Actually have 8 men on the line. Corners up.
That's that Bear defense the Dolphins are playing.
Wilhite gets a couple out to the 45-yard line. Darrell Wilhite on a slant. Knocked down by the middle of the Miami defense. Offerdahl again was on the tackle for the Dolphins.
Again, the real stalwart on this Miami Dolphins defense, John Offerdahl. That look is not fake. He is that intense. reads well, moves to the ball well, gets around those blocks, and is down there diving at the feet of Gerald Wilhite.
So Elway under control, using the full playbook, attacking the Dolphin defense. They've been on the ropes the entire game, have the Miami defenders. It's 3rd down and 2. Handoff. Wilhite didn't get there, and we're going to have the first punt of the game as Stanley Winder runs the ball on his knack down to the 46-yard line. Jackie Klein in the game, a rookie, free agent, makes the stop.
There's a missed block up there in front. There's Klein, 98. Juriga. Klein does a great job. Fights off Juriga, 66, and is there to make the tackle.
Nat DeFrank challenging Mike Duran for the punter's job. Hits the ball downfield. It's long but low. It'll come back. At Denver, here's another Miami fumble. Picked up by Schwede, and he gets out to the 25-yard line. And again, we have a blocking foul against Miami on the return. 2 kick returns, 2 fouls on Miami, a 42-yard punt and a 13-yard return. .9:33 shows on the first half clock.
Number 24 holding during the run back. We'll move it back 10 yards and a first down.
Renee Thompson called for the foul. Good way to keep Ken Bell off the return man is to hit him. It wasn't Renee Thompson. They called the wrong number.
Bud Brown.
A quick look at Major League Baseball tonight. The Detroit Tigers, leaders of the American League East at the outset of the evening by 3 games over Boston, by 3.5 over New York. Leading Chicago are the Tigers in the 7th inning, 5-0. Yankees playing 2 with the Mariners. They won the first. Seattle leads the second 4-1. Boston leading Western leader Oakland. A's on cruise control right now with an 8-game lead. And Marino throws and a strike to Bruce Hardy. His tight ends ahead for 11 or 12 yards up the middle. It's a first down Dolphins. National Leaguers, the Dodgers, leaders of the West, will be going against the Expos later tonight at Dodger Stadium. San Francisco at home to play the Phillies. Houston leading Pittsburgh in the 7th inning at Three River Stadium, 3-1. New York at San Diego later. New York started the night with a 4-game lead on the Pirates. Dodgers started the night with a 4.5-game lead on Houston. Major League Baseball coming up tomorrow afternoon on NBC Sports. As on first down, the Dolphins go to the run. Stratford, who led the Dolphins in rushing and receiving last season, rushed for over 600 yards, caught 48 passes as a rookie, gets ahead to about the 25. Bring up 2nd and 7.
You know, Don, the thing you like about Troy Stratford is he's tireless. He'll still run those patterns in the 4th quarter. Tomorrow in Major League Baseball, the A's at the Red Sox and Houston at Pittsburgh. Art Rooney will miss that game at Three River Stadium. One of the biggest Pirate fans you'll ever find on the face of the earth. Hope he's feeling well.
Send our best to one of the founding fathers of the NFL, Art Rooney, who's hospitalized in Pittsburgh. Marino on 2nd and 7, a native Pittsburgher. Dumps it off a little bit low for Lorenzo Hampton, and now Marino will set in the shotgun with Brash Jensen coming on back in, number 11.
See what Danny did there? He threw that ball on the ground. He was backing up. He saw the blitz coming. Jim Ryan was right in his face, and as he's backing up, he throws it in the ground. And when Hampton looks at him, he says, "Hey, that's my fault. That's one on me."
They talked, Trump, about Marino's great release. Talking to Glenn Blackwood, a longtime defensive back who's on injury list right now for the Dolphins. He said when you play against him week after week, year after year, the most remarkable thing is you never know where he's going with the ball.
Yeah.
Never, ever looked at the person he's going to throw to. Sure, he's going one way and batting us off to the opposite side of the field. Quick out. Not a lot. Going to come up way short on 3rd down, and Miami sends out its long-distance punter, Reggie Roby.
That's Jim Ryan on defense. That was great coverage.
Good player. 10-year veteran out of William & Mary. Jim Ryan, risk-free when he's out there. He doesn't make mistakes.
Stratford came out of the backfield, gave Ryan a little move. Ryan didn't buy it there to make the tackle for not enough yardage for the first down.
Broncos, an excellent kick returning team. Number one in the American Conference in kickoff returns last season. They got part of the punt. The Broncos special teams come up with a big play, and Denver's going to take over the ball in Miami end of the field. With the Dolphins trailing 7-0, Reggie Roby, who can kick it out of the stadium if he hits it right, loses a piece of it to a defender, and the punt is only 6 yards. Super fast Sam Grady appears to be the man who got it. An Olympic gold medal winner in the 4x100 relay, also won silver in the sprint behind Carl Lewis in the 100, and he got in there and got Roby's punt.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Acura, precision-crafted performance exclusively at your Acura dealer. By Burger King, where we do it like you do it. And by the American Express card. Membership has its privileges. Don't leave home without it.
With Bob Trumpy, this is Don Criqui back at Joe Robbie Stadium. Broncos have a 7-0 lead in the second quarter as Elway on first down rolls to throw and looking deep. End zone toss. Nobody near it but Paul Langford of the Dolphins. It'll be second down and 10 for Elway and the Broncos, who went 80 yards in 16 plays on the opening set of downs. Took it the distance on their 20. Will Hyde on the payoff end. As now the high humidity brings rain here in South Florida.
Might be a welcome relief for players. It's been hot and humid down here. Denver's not used to working in humidity like this. They train at about a mile high.
They're up at altitude in Greeley.
Yes, they are.
It affects the passing game. Elway with second down and 10 coming up. Going to throw it through the car wash. Not going to throw it all. John Elway, a tough man to sack because of his quickness, is taken down by T.J. Turner for a 9-yard loss.
That's the one thing that Don Shula would like to get a lot more of, is sacks. Now, to John Elway's credit, he stays in the pocket. Craig Morton, the quarterback coach, the guy that's helping John Elway this summer for Dan Reeves, has been telling him, stay in the pocket. And you see Turner 95, Soche 70, 50, Jackie Shipp there for the first sack of the night for either team.
We have 6:40 to play in the first half. 7-0 Broncos. Elway on 3rd and 1. 3rd and 19. That's a rip. Wide open,
Jackson.
going down, but he can't get to the ball is Mark Jackson. And so that brings up 4th down as the rain intensifies now. It's about as heavy as it can get.
Is this what they call a sheet of rain? Elway knows he's got a chance here. He looks all over the field. He's going to Mark Jackson all the way, and then finally looks back and just a little too far outside. Doggone it, that was 6 points. And that's the Frank in the punt.
Got Schwades back deep for Miami. This is awful tough to catch. He'll probably let it go. A wave and fair catch and then clear out of the way, and it does hop into the end zone, so the Dolphins get a break. Miami will go on offense at their 20 with the Denver Broncos in the lead 7-0. 6:17 to play in the first quarter, and it's torrential now. Raining hard in South Florida, where the Miami Dolphins go on offense, first down and 10 at their 20. Louis Cheek, a first-year player, is now in at right tackle for Miami. Dan Marino going the distance in the first half at quarterback, as is his counterpart John Elway for Denver. Broncos with a 7-0 lead. Straight ahead carry. Davenport, 2 arms on the ball. Only gets a couple. Be second down and 8. Michael Brooks, outside linebacker for Denver, made the stop, number 56, a player called by Bill Arnsparger, who coached him at LSU, the best college linebacker I've ever seen. And he injured a knee, missed most of one season. He's still very good, lost a little speed.
I think Denver realized his talents, though. They still take him, give him a year to get that knee well, and now they expect great things out of him.
Marino practices in the rain, plays in it a lot. He can throw in it. Goes to the run. Second down and 8 play, and the Dolphins get a little impetus in Lorenzo Hampton. With a second burst, gets ahead for close to 9 yards and has a first down.
Now, this field should feel very comfortable to the Denver Broncos. It's prescription athletic turf, the same they have in Mile High Stadium. And it's a good footing down here. There's a brand new field they put in last season. Excellent footing.
You're talking, Trump, about Marino's lack of running yardage, but he's the toughest QB in the NFL to sack because of his release. Give you an idea, the Eagles gave up 72 sacks last season. Elway's only been sacked 49, or Marino's only been sacked 49 times in the last 3 seasons. 16 a season. Here's a throw straight up the middle. Coming out of the backfield is Troy Stratford. On a first down play, he's ahead for about 6.
Right there to meet him is Rick Dennison. See from the I formation, Davenport up there to help on the block, and then Stratford's the outlet. And right there to make the Dennison right there to make the tackle.
Stratford last season in the NFL draft was the 12th running back pick. He came in the 4th round out of Boston College, but when the final numbers were in, only one running back, only one rookie runner had more running yards. That was Okoye from Kansas City. Stratford again. On second down and about 4, he's ahead for maybe a yard or 2 out close to the 38-yard line. Making the stop with Bruce Klosterman, who's challenging for a starting position for the Denver Broncos, inside linebacker.
This play is good when the tight end can get the block. There's Don Shula on the sideline. Now David Shula is also on the sideline helping. Watch Bruce Hardy. Fakes inside. Simon Fletcher, 73, the man he's on. And he doesn't get the job done. Fletcher there to assist on the tackle.
And just as fast, Trump, as the rain came upon us, it stopped.
Are you surprised in South Florida?
Natural grass field has a very good drainage system. The water's actually sucked off by a pump system. It'll stay a good footing now on third down and short. Looks like the Dolphins get a first down as Marino triggers it quickly to Stratford, and his first down, Miami.
Randy Robbins on the tackle. That's almost a play that you cannot stop. There's no defense that you can design to stop that play. Stratford out of the backfield. He only needed a yard or so.
Well, they just converted third and short. It's been a problem in the preseason for the Don Shula Dolphins. First down now at the 41-yard line. Their first drive was 82 yards, only to lose it on a fumble by James Pruitt inside the Denver 5-yard line. Pruitt in motion, 82. Second back through. Takes it up and a hard slashing run close to midfield. It'll be a gain of almost 9 yards by Lorenzo Hampton.
And one of the big changes in the NFL over the last few years is that teams used to try to hide the pass, and now they hide the run. You saw Stratford, 23, Davenport, 30, and the tight end all move to the other side of the formation to switch to defense. Teams try to hide that running play like they used to hide the passing play.
2 minutes and 45 seconds to play in the first half. Denver still with a 7-0 lead, coming on its opening drive, 80 yards in 16 plays. Will Heitman 3 yards out on the payoff end. Marino throws a knuckleball up the middle and was fortunate not to have it intercepted as there were Broncos around it. Mike Harden moved to free safety. He had the nearest play on the ball. He was looking at Farrell Edmonds, that super fast tight end. He caught a quick pop slant over the middle last week against the Redskins and went 71 yards for a touchdown.
Marino said he likes Farrell Edmonds as a receiver down the middle. All he's got to do is just be able to read where those dead spots are in the zone coverage. Find the position between the 2 inside linebackers.
Marino still without his 2 top wide receivers as Duper's holding out. Over the last 4 years, Duper and Clayton have combined for almost 500 catches, 69 for touchdowns. No other pair of receivers as close as now the Broncos again are unable to stop the Miami run on third and short. They buffed it for a 13-yard gain by Ron Davenport. Randy Robbins in his extra defensive back finally made the tackle.
Well, Don Shula is worried about third and short. Watch 27, Lorenzo Hampton. He kicks out 31, Harden. The tight end this time does a great job, Bruce Hardy. And actually, all Davenport's got to do is get to the line of scrimmage and hang on to the football.
Roy Foster also with a very good block as now the players are given the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes to play, first half. Denver 7, Miami nothing. back at Miami's Joe Robbie Stadium. We're at 7-0 Denver in the first half, 2 minutes to play. A lot of offense. Look like it'll be a shootout from the start of the game. Now settle down a little bit.
Slow down a little bit. I still think that both coaches, while they want to win, they also want to see a lot of players tonight because they've got a cut down next week, and they got to make sure that they don't want to cut somebody that can help this football team. So, yeah, it started out like a track meet, and now it's slowed down to a normal football game with two very excellent football teams.
Well, last year when they played the preseason, they put up a lot of points. Denver beat Miami at Mile High Stadium 31-28. And I'd only 7 points as the Broncos went 16 plays and 80 yards in their opening drive. But we're going to see a lot more big plays before it's over because we have the two top offenses in the American Conference matched here and two of the truly great players in the National Football League and the opposing quarterbacks. Marino, you're looking at, and John Elway.
1st and 10, Denver territory. 2 minutes to go in the first half. There's John Elway on the sideline. Got to be very happy with the way the offense has moved the ball. Only produced the 7 points, but they've moved the ball very well. This is a great spot now for Miami Dolphins to tune up that 2-minute offense that is so vitally important nowadays in the NFL. Miami's very good at it, too, with all their weapons. Of course, Denver knows that. You see a lot more 5 defensive backs and more linebackers in the game in these situations.
First down, Miami. 2 minutes to go. First half. Marino, quick throw underneath the coverage. He got down below the linebackers. Lorenzo Hampton out of the backfield. He's in for a 7-yard gain.
Now they go right back to the line of scrimmage. The quarterback will call a couple of plays in the huddle. Up underneath the center, though, not from the shotgun.
Another throw, another catch. Davenport ahead for a first down to the 24-yard line of the Broncos. Joe Collier, the defensive coordinator of the Denver Broncos, looking on. A lot of people said he did one of his best jobs last year. They didn't have the physical manpower to. You know, they didn't give up that much yardage in the regular season. It wasn't until the Super Bowl, and of course that tough game has stayed with them. They're looking to shed that label, and right now Lorenzo Hampton out of the backfield takes it down to the 18-yard line.
That's a good tackle by Mike Harden, and Lorenzo Hampton made a mistake there. He cut sideline trying to gain a couple of inches. You're trying to save seconds here. Get up the field, get on the ground, go back to the huddle, and try it again.
So with 1:07 to play in the first half, there's a timeout on the field, and we'll be back after this. At halftime, a very interesting feature. Gail Gardner visited with Tony Dorsett. Right now, it is Miami trailing Denver 7-0 with 67 ticks left on the second quarter clock. Marino looking to get Miami on the board. Throws hard and throws it away on 2nd down and 4.
Don, let me mention something here, because people out there who watch Miami a lot may notice this too. For some reason, Dan Marino is up underneath the center. That's one of two things. Either because of the rain, or I wonder if there is a difference in confidence that Don Shula has in the center. Dellenbach replacing Dwight Stevenson. Stevenson out with that bad knee. I don't know, but normally in these situations, you see Dan Marino back there in the shotgun almost exclusively.
They're a big shotgun team.
Let's see what he does on this one.
Dwight Stevenson, the All-Pro, still out after the injury suffered last season. John Giesler, the starting left tackle, still out in a contract holdout.
And now back in the shotgun again. Jensen right there to his right.
3rd and a long 4 for Miami. Up the middle it goes to Clayton, and the Denver defenders knock him down short of where he had to go. He's down to the 15-yard line, about 2 yards short of the first down. 50 seconds to play, and the clock is stopped on a Miami timeout. So the Dolphins have a decision to make. Do they go for the first down and 4th and 1 or send out the field goal unit? We'll find out when we come back. Don Shula and the Dolphins with a 4th and 1 coming up from the 14-yard line of Denver. Broncos lead the game 7-0. Timeout is called. As you see what's remaining, the Dolphins have just one. 4th and 1. It looks like Jensen's getting set to come in. They're going to go for it.
On the brain trust now, the Miami Dolphins is Don and David Shula, and it used to be Don Struck, who was released. I always saw him a great deal on the sideline counseling Dan Marino. If I had a pick here, I'd take Jensen as the primary receiver. He'll stand back there next to Marino. Make it look like he's going to pass protect. They only need 1.5 yards.
He made the play earlier on a 3rd down, and Dan Reeves, coach of the Denver Broncos, looking on his team after opening up with an 80-yard drive to take a 7-0 lead. No scoring since. Rain has been intermittent. It's heavy right now.
Yeah. My choice is out of the game. Jensen. They're not going with the formation they normally do. They're going to run for it here, it looks like.
Power play. Double tight ends aligned to the right. That's the strong side. Bronco linebackers jump in the gaps. Marino looks, fakes, throws. He's got Hardy for a first down to about the 10-yard line. Beautifully done by the Dolphins, as Denver obviously playing run all the way, and Marino makes the play. Clock down to 38 seconds.
Well,
now the Broncos want a timeout.
Again, Don, the change in the NFL. They hide the run. That time they did a great job of hiding the pass. Came with the power formation. A nice little pickup by Bruce Hardy. I think Don Shula was happy. 4th down. He was worried about 3rd and short. He's watching. Yeah.
They've been doing a good job converting some of these 3rd and shorts that he's been troubled by. Our producer tonight for NBC Sports is Larry Cirillo. Our director, Ted Nathanson. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Michael Weissman, as we're coming to you from Joe Robbie Stadium in North Miami, Florida. 38 seconds to play in the first half. The rain is falling. Shula and the Dolphins trailing Reeves and the Broncos by a 7-0 count. Ball on the 9-yard line, so it'll be 1st and goal. And the rain again coming in sheets.
This is a tough spot for an offense. Not enough room to really function, Don.
Split backfield. Wide receivers to either side. Mecklenburg had a play on the ball at the 1, but couldn't hold on in the rain.
Looked like they were going to Hardy, the tight end. He was down in the middle. There he releases free. Actually, that's pretty good coverage on him. Steve Wilson, but Mecklenburg on the underneath coverage gets his hand on an incomplete pass. And Joe Collier's got that defensive playbook underneath his jacket there. He hand signals every defense in there. This is a more complicated defense than Denver's offense.
Looks like Hurricane Audrey has come back. Rain's that heavy as Lorenzo Hampton turns upfield. He's inside the 5, and he's down to the 2-yard line. And the game clock ticking down to 26 seconds, and it's stopped there as the Dolphins take their last time out. NBC Chief Statistician Joe Costanza pointing out that this is a 16-play drive. The last Miami drive was 16 plays, but they've not yet been in the end zone, have no points. Denver still up 7-0. The Van Pattens to play tough, too, as the rain is... Animals walking 2 by 2 outside there for the arc. Starbrights are still dancing on the sidelines as the Miami Dolphins come to the line of scrimmage, trailing 7-0. 3rd down and goal from the Denver 2.
Watch Jensen here.
Set in the shotgun. Marino looks. He throws, and it's incomplete, but there's a marker down. Jeremiah Castile might have interfered with Freddie Banks.
I see no indication yet exactly what it is. You'd certainly suspect holding. That's holding against the defense half the distance to the goal. You can pick up what happened. Look at that ball they've done. Yeah, you can see the hand on the receiver. The officials are allowing a little more contact now between the defensive back and the receiver this year, but you can't really get in his way or hold him up. So it's on Jeremiah Castile. And it's 1st and goal, Miami.
The rain falling about as hard as as it can fall as Marino looks, fakes, he throws, and it's too much on it on first and goal to Lorenzo Hampton. And the clock, as you see, down to 18 seconds to play in the first half.
Dan Marino's telling the officials they held my man up again. Throw the flag. And Don Shula calling the play. Son David on the sideline. Dan Reeves on the other side. See if we can pick up the hold. Hampton comes out of there. Oh, a little too hard. That ball is very hard to throw right now. The umpire will stand there and he'll have the ball covered with a towel, but it doesn't really keep it dry. The minute he puts it down, the thing weighs about 8 pounds.
18th play of this drive coming up. Marino out of timeout, so that takes away the option of the draw play, or does it?
Fumble.
Free football. Marino falls out. Now they've just got a plain hurry. They have no timeouts.
Now, Shula's going to keep his field goal team off the field. Marino's going to take it, just throw it into the ground. They'll get a field goal.
They're going to go for the touch. Marino looks. He throws. Intercepted and lost. It's a free ball inside, and now they ruled it an incomplete pass. Mike Harden had the ball and lost it. It was ruled no interception, incomplete pass.
Not a choice I think Don Shula would make in a normal situation. Let's watch Farrell Edmonds, the tight end. You see the defense runs right away from him. Marino does not see him. It almost ends up in another turnover by Miami. And the field goal team does, in fact, make it on the team with 1 tick on the clock left.
Not hard, though, Trump, not to see anybody with all those Broncos and all that rain in your face. And now Quad Reves, despite the weather, gets it up and good, as the hold is also perfect by Jaworski to set it up.
But the snap was awful. Jaworski did a great job.
And the Dolphins, on the final play of the first half, take the first points of the game at 7-3 Denver.
Watch what happens on this snap. It kind of slips right through Jaworski's fingers. Reves has to stop. He still gets it down, and just with his leg, with no movement whatsoever, kicks that field goal.
Gail Gardner with a feature on Tony Dorsett is coming up when we return to Joe Robbie Stadium. Broncos 7, Dolphins 3. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy back at Joe Robbie Stadium. The Denver Broncos scored on an 80-yard drive to open the game. The Miami Dolphins kicked a field goal on the final play of the first half at 7-3. NFL Live halftime activities will continue in a moment. We'll be right back after these messages from your local station. We're back at Joe Robbie Stadium. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy. We're at halftime. The Broncos lead the Miami Dolphins 7-3. Game started out like a track meet. Broncos went down the field after the opening kickoff, 80 yards in 16 plays, and then Gerald Wilhite took it in on this play.
John, the best thing about this whole drive is just the multitude of formations and players they use to get it down there. They threw it to both tight ends. They threw it to all 3 wide receivers. They ran the ball a little bit. You remember John Elway had a nice run in there for a first down, and the whole thing culminated in that dive by Gerald Wilhite. So Dan Reeves and his crew got to be very happy with that opening drive.
Then the Miami Dolphins got the ball. They went 82 yards. Looked like they were going to take it in. But a big play by cornerback Mark Haynes freed the ball from James Pruitt, who catches this pass. And the Broncos recovered, and Miami was stopped not to score until the final play of the half on a field goal.
Pruitt does a great job here. You try to avoid that first tackle. He cuts back inside, and watch this blue helmet come. Mark Haynes right on the wrist. Ball pops loose. And all of a sudden, an 82-yard drive ends up in no points. Dennison, I believe, 55 for the Denver Broncos, makes the recovery. And the Miami Dolphins, after an awful lot of effort, get no points whatsoever there.
Another big play, but the Broncos were unable to convert it into points, was the block of a Reggie Roby punt. The long-distance punter of the Miami Dolphins, and Sam Grady, a super-fast receiver who's in on kick coverage, comes off the flank and gets a piece of the ball that was only 6 yards. But they couldn't get any more points in the first half, and Miami would later score the final 3 of the half at 7-3 game.
You know, Don, it's interesting. Denver is trying to find a way to get Sam Grady on this football team. He was on IR last year. His foot speed, who can line up there on the punt block team and get to the punter, because Roby is a 2-step punter. He's very, very difficult to block. you might be able to work Sam Grady into your offense if you can keep him there, if he can do just that.
It's surprising, Trump, we had only one turnover because much of the first half was played in torrents of rain. And with the rain falling hard in the closing moments of the second quarter, the Miami Dolphins had fourth down, and they got the snap off. Not a good one, but Jaworski, the 16-year veteran quarterback who we'll see in the second half, made a terrific hold, and Reves put it up for their only point.
Open in the end zone. No one was around him, but strangely, Dan Marino, who but the ball, because it's wet, slips right between. Get the ball down on the ground. Reves stops dead in his tracks, and then just with his legs, just with his swinging leg, his right leg is able to propel that ball up through the. Watch this. The snap's not bad, but it just gets right to Jaworski's face mask, and Reves stops, still able to get it through. The only 3 points of the half for the Miami Dolphins.
Rain is let up now. We have about I'd say about a mild downpour. Denver with a
thing is that they got 80 yards in that opening drive, have gotten just 46 since that opening drive. So the Miami Dolphin defense has done a pretty good job. The only turnover we showed you, James Pruitt having that ball knocked loose by Mark Haynes. Time of possession, the Dolphins have done a great job of evening that out because that opening drive was an absolute dandy. Took almost 8 minutes off the clock. Well, now in the second half, both these coaches must try to find out who can play.
The second half kickoff is sponsored by Budweiser, the king of beers. Matt DeFrank kicks a high spinner downfield to the 10-yard. Across the 30 to about the 31. Dan Reeves, as he put it, we've been good enough to get to the Super Bowl, but not good enough to win it. They're going to be knocking again.
Don, I'd say this is a fairly important start of a second half for Ron Jaworski. He's in competition to back up Dan Marino. He's in a fight with David Archer and Kerwin Bell. David Archer began the 1980 starting quarterback. Jaworski trying to make this team to back up Dan Marino.
Jaworski against the blitz. Dolphins. Long of arm in his 16th season. Had a lot on it. Is in very good position to make this team. He's played that well. Joe Robbie Stadium. Ain't a stop at Joe Robbie Stadium as we're early in the third quarter. Marino worked the first half for Miami. Jaworski on the first set in the third quarter. Denver. Jarvis Williams playing in the deep secondary for Miami. Rookie number 2 draft choice out of Florida. Pitch back to Steve Sewell. Hard Howard Brunner from Oklahoma, former top draft choice of the Broncos. He's out to the 39-yard line, a gain of about 4.
Bud Brown, free safety on the tackle. Sewell, another one of those tremendous offensive weapons that Denver possesses. He and Dorsett. Sewell can play wide receiver. He can play tight end, fullback, running back. And they're just beginning.
Jay Turner of Miami got a trap of Elway in the first half. Elway. Mobley, the big tight end, running free down the middle of the field, and Elway was right on target till Jarvis Williams moved in and almost made an interception.
You see Mobley coming in motion. That's Graf 58 that gives him a little shove, and Bud Brown, the free safety there. This is kind of a desperation throw by John Elway. I think Craig Morton, his personal quarterback guru this summer, and Dan Reeves would prefer, if you're going to throw it late, throw it outside. You throw it late down the middle, that ball.
Longtime Cowboy and Giant. And it's going to be good for a Bronco first down. They get the ball out to the 4.5. It's going to be close enough to measure now.
Jackie Klein was on the tackle. Is a forward pass. If it's dropped, it goes as an incomplete pass. Again, the Denver offense will do just about anything at any spot on the field.
Elway, in leading the Broncos to 44 wins over the last 4 seasons, has directed a team that's won the AFC West title 3 of the last 4 years, and the year that the Broncos finished second, they were 11-5.
Short.
Again, we check the baseball scoreboard. Detroit holding to a 1-run lead over the White Sox now in the 7th inning. Boston doing the same. 1 run up on Oakland in the 8th at Fenway. And the Yankees, after winning the first at Yankee Stadium. Jarvis Williams. To Frank, getting a lot of work as he tries to make this team. It's a short punt downfield that Jarvis Williams will run back. A big play by the Denver special teams as they make the hit. Force the second fumble of the game by the Dolphins and recover.
And I think the guy who made the initial contact was Kevin Guidry.
Pat Kelly might have got the ball.
See if this is 37. Kevin Guidry makes the tackle, knocks that ball loose. Boy, he drives right through him, too. And then 42 of the Denver Broncos. Urban makes the
Bronco offense at the 22-yard line of Miami. Third quarter, early in it, 7-3 Broncos lead. The ball is separated at the 5. Bud Brown.
That's a good call.
Over the back.
That's a good call.
Looked like he was right on time, but the official right there says it's interference.
Clarence Kay was the intended receiver. Brown back in zone coverage.
Number 43 defense. down.
Watch what happens. Now, you want to try to time this, but I think Bud Brown is just there and makes contact before the ball gets. It's my understanding the officials are going to allow a little more contact, but I thought he hit him before the ball got there.
Dolphins. When they used the Super Bowls won by the Raiders, they always led the league in penalties. Steve Sewell, straight ahead, is inside the 5-yard line, got about 3.
See an awful lot of teams use 2 tight ends, and on this Denver Bronco team, they have 2 of the biggest, Orson Mobley and also Clarence Kay. Mobley in motion, trying to be Baryshnikov, and then turn bulldozer. Well, he doesn't do a bad job. He gets up there on the nose tackle. Nice pickup. This is not much of a drive, actually. Fumble punt return, a big penalty.
Coming on a delayed blitz with Bob Brzezinski. Backing the line at the right side. He held, saw the read, and then took off and got John Elway. Second sack, loss of 8.
Excellent job by the Miami defense. T.J. Turner kind of comes to the outside, and great coverage down the field by the Dolphins defensive backs. And then Brzezinski is there, and Elway still almost gets away. Jeff Cross had a nice pass rush there, 91 for the Dolphins.
So the Broncos are now set back to where they have 3rd down coming up on the 11-yard line. 3rd and goal. The 4-yard line, gunning the ball in low so it could not be intercepted, but neither could it be caught. Gene Lang was the intended receiver out of the back.
Here again by with a great athletic ability. He keeps it. That's good defense.
The original. And by Ace Hardware Corporation. Ace is the place.
Williams ran it back for Miami. Good special teams coverage by the Broncos, and the knockdown was made at the 15-yard line. And there's Jaworski and the Miami offense go again.
Trying to get the team up a little bit here. This Denver Bronco defense has done a pretty good job against Miami. I mean, Miami's helped. Randy McMillan now in the ball game, number 31, recently acquired from the Indianapolis Colts.
Injured in an auto accident. He was out all of last season. A former #1 draft choice of the Colts out of Pittsburgh. Had some fine seasons. Has looked good in camp. Gets the carry. And he's ahead for a... he made the block and the run was... Stop looking at the National League scoreboard. Dodgers and Expos in the first inning. So are the Phillies and the Giants. Houston beat.
Leg.
Tomorrow, the Western leading A's play the Red Sox at Fenway, or you'll see the Astros and the Pirates from Pittsburgh. Been doing a lot of work syncing up with the Denver blocking. There's a lot more to the running game, just getting the ball and heading north or south.
There's a lot of Dallas in that picture. Morton.
Dorsett said it's been easy for the most part to adapt to the play because it's almost the same offense as the Cowboys run. Outside by Jaworski under.
I thought that ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. Jeremiah Castile in the coverage on Pruitt.
There's a bit of a quarterback controversy in Miami all over the backup. Marino, obviously the man. Jaworski, David Archer, and rookie Kerwin Bell all contending. They'll probably keep 3. So the battle is really between David Archer and Kerwin Bell for the final. Crossed the 40 to about the 41-yard line. Tackle made by 47-yard punt and 11-yard return. And the green jacket and the white hat, and John Sanders. To the left is Tony. Might stay on. David Shula has emerged in his short time with an assistant as a very important to the Miami offense. He's running it as assistant head coach. Gary Kubiak now spelling John Elway, his roommate on the road, into quarterback the Broncos. Steve Sewell on a slant, and the Dolphins shut it down on a first down carry.
Bob Brzezinski, Mark Brown there on the tackle.
Mark Brown, number 50. Leading tackler 2 years ago. Now Hugh Green is in there. Hopefully for the Dolphins, his injuries behind him. Out, makes the connection, down with the ball. It's Mark Jackson, and it's a Bronco first down.
Or the form. There's a nice little out. That's a very crisp route. Comes back for the football. Rodney Thomas in coverage. Good timing. Kubiak puts it right on the money. First down pickup, Denver. They've done very little wrong tonight, Don.
Very sound offense. Only 2 turnovers in the game, both by the Dolphins. Denver also blocked the Miami punt. Out of the backfield comes Steve.
Mark Brown on the tackle.
I've gotten word that Tony Dorsett will be a watcher. Klein, an ex-Steeler, who's played very well tonight. Number 98 coming in as a nose tackle, combined on the sack. That is the 3rd sack of Denver quarterbacks.
Looked like a game up front. A nice bull rush. That was a nice bull.
Another blitz. He stands in, fires away, and it's almost picked off. But Mark Jackson was the finish.
Offsides defense. It looked like Jackie Klein jumped off sides a little bit.
Defense, number 58, offside, 5-yard penalty.
Rick Graff.
Will this play the 3rd down?
They called Rick Graff, but I think he's 58. I think it was 98 who jumped off the side. Let's see if we can try to see.
Get either one.
Pick one.
Broncos trying to become the 2nd team to go to the
Uh, 70. O'Shea is working on the. He's at the defensive end there. He was on the outside at the defensive end. Ed Cross on the inside, and number 91 and 98, Jackie Klein.
Matt DeFrank hits a punt downfield that is fielded and lost, and Jarvis Williams tries. Is one of the main weapons in the Miami pass offense. Mark Cooper apparently is about ready to end his holdout.
Yeah, it's been a while, but the details and get a contract signed so they can get him in camp.
Big throw, a long hit down to James Pruitt, who's out across the 35-yard line.
Everybody cheers for the reception. It's a 23-yard pickup. But on the other end is Ron Jaworski. You see that he pays a certain price. That's a pretty serious price. A good sack by Andrew Province. Really nailed him right in the chest. But
give way. End up, and Lorenzo Hampton with a slanting run at James. The 44. They get it by half the length of the ball, so the Dolphins trailing the Broncos 10-3 with 6:28 to play in the third quarter. Giants and the Browns from Cleveland State. The Bengals paid you, Trumpy, when you labored so long and so well.
there were no hundreds and hundreds of thousands in my day. Hundreds of thousands. Actually, what they used to say is
fun.
And that was about where it.
For the Miami Dolphins, Ron Jaworski is 6. Throws in the flat.
Good coverage, man. Good blitzer. Great tackler.
Mecklenburg was a late draft choice. I think he came in the 12th round out of Minnesota. 3 times a first-team All-Pro.
You can see Carl Mecklenburg, 77, sitting right up on Lorenzo Hampton. He's got him all the way. Hampton makes the fake, catches the ball, but Mecklenburg at his size, 235 or bigger, still enough acceleration to. Looked like Rulon Jones jumped. That's one of the responsibilities of that.
Offside. 5-yard penalty. Replay the third down.
Rulon has not had a good game.
Third and 3.
That's on the offense. Lewis cheated a little bit, stepped quickly, and that's on the offense. So we're right back where we started. 77. Lewis Cheek. And they hope will help that offensive line. But John.
Proudly going to make this Denver team. He's been a very effective force in the preseason. First-year player from North Dakota State.
Number 77 offense, penalty refused. Fourth down.
I was just talking about Lewis Cheek playing well. That one play he did not.
Yeah, he had illegal motion and then the holding. But that's part of learning the game. The one advantage these offensive linemen has is their coach, John Sandusky, one of the finest offensive line coaches in the history of the game.
He really is excellent. Long, low punt by Roby. Fielding it on the run is Wilhite, and he dives across the 20 out to the 23-yard line. Tom Kelleher, a rookie from Holy Cross, making the play on special teams. Jaws somewhat wide-eyed as he gets set to work a bit later. Catch down to the 31-yard line. Still moving when he gets the ball is Mark Jackson. Close to a first down, not quite there. Let's see where they spot it. He might have it. He does.
Broncos have run a great many times tonight, those delay patterns. Wait for the defensive linebackers to clear, and then the receiver releases underneath and finds the dead spot. And as long as you've got good pass protection, quarterback can stand there and just wait for the linebackers to drop. That time Jackson did a good job. Just enough for the first down.
Tremendous amount of the pass offense, Trump, these days, coming underneath those dropping linebackers. They swing the backs underneath, slant the tight end. First down and 10 for the Broncos. Kubiak at quarterback. Running is Warren Marshall. He's had some big moments in the preseason and has one there. Second-year player from James Madison, who was on injured reserve all of last season.
Jarvis Williams, a good stick on that tackle. Got his head across in front of that running back. Jackie Shipp out there also to assist. You know, Don, you mentioned that a lot of the passing game is underneath the linebackers. You know, when you get 8 guys back there in coverage sometimes. There's Jaworski on the left. David Chula, assistant head coach, on the right. David Archer between them.
Second down and short for Gary Kubiak and the Broncos. Straight up the middle run. It's good for a first down. Warren Marshall gets it again and powers his way to midfield. Needed 2, got 8. It's a 10-3 game. The Denver Broncos lead with 2:30 to play in the third quarter.
See the guys they got in there: Jackie Klein, Kumaro, Brzezinski, Shipp, Bud Brown. All those guys are starting defensive players for the Miami Dolphins, and the Denver Broncos backup offensive line shoving them all over the field. I don't imagine Tom Olivadotti or Don Shula very happy with this defensive team's performance tonight, even though Denver's only scored 10 points.
Looking to score more now as they have the ball at midfield, first and 10. Marshall getting a long look now as they go back to him, and he's down to a 48-yard line of Miami. A gain of about 2. Jeff Cross, a rookie defensive end from Missouri, and Mark Brown, a veteran linebacker, made the stop for the Dolphins.
One of the problems with this Miami defense is that guy standing on the sideline. John Boza, if it were a regular season game, would play, but he has a sprained ankle. He was a great acquisition for them last year. And last year with the football strike, all the learning for these kids, these young rookies, stopped.
Was injured in the win over the 49ers at London. Kubiak on 2nd and 8. Throws, and there's the connection made at the 45-yard line. It'll be short of the first down. Cat Kelly, a first-year tight end from Syracuse, made the catch.
Rick Graff on the tackle. One of the people that Miami is looking very close at, Rick, is Eric Kumaro. Triple team, was a linebacker in college. They're converting him to a defensive lineman because they feel he can weigh like 275 comfortably and still keep his foot speed. They need a lot out of this kid. He needs to learn in a hurry to help that defensive line, but he's getting all the reps you can possibly get, staying out there for the whole game.
Bloodlines are right. His father is Palmer Pyle, a former NFL player, and his godfather is Palmer's brother, Mike Pyle, who's one of the top linemen on the Bears championship team in '63. Here's a throw downfield, separated from Pat Kelly. Inside the 25-yard line, Jarvis Williams was on the play, and Jackie Shipp was all the way back.
Shipp, the underneath coverage man there, just got his hands up enough to walk, knock it away. See that pad on his right arm? That's to protect his bicep. You see Kubiak's eyes. Good pressure up front by Lambrecht. And watch Jackie Shipp. Good job here. Gets his hand up, knocks the ball away. Not known as a good coverage linebacker, but that one very acceptable.
DeFrank punts again, hits it high, and then he forces fair catch. But Brown lost the handle, got a sack. It'll be 1st and 10 Miami at the Dolphins' 18-yard line with 19 seconds to play in the third quarter. 29-yard punt, as you saw, no return. Perfect playing conditions now. It's gone from hot and humid to torrents of rain. Now it's cooled off and dry, and the field very playable. Tell me it's raining again?
It's sprinkling. It's sprinkling.
Well, after what we saw before, that's not rain.
No, you're right. Just a drop or two.
High set in the backfield as David Archer now appears to be in a quarterback. And still Jaws, still Ron Jaworski. Archer's been warming up as Lorenzo Hampton takes it straight ahead for the Dolphins out to about the 22-yard line. Hampton now in his 4th year from Florida, a #1 draft choice after he played for the Gators. And that'll do it for the third quarter of play as the clock ticks out and the gun's down. So after 3 quarters of play, after leading 7-3 at halftime, the only points of the third quarter, a field goal, and it's now 10-3. The Dolphins in the lead. Back after this from your local station. Don Crippy with Bob Trumpy back at Miami, Florida. Dolphins down by 7 points as we start the fourth quarter. It's 10-3 Broncos. Ron Jaworski, the 16-year veteran from Youngstown State, with a 2nd down and long 4 play coming up. Marino works the first half. Jaworski sends the ball in low, and unable to bring it up is James Pruitt.
You know, notice he's taking his gloves off. When those gloves get wet, they're almost useless. That one was thrown low, and maybe in the exhibition season you can allow that one to drop, but regular season, you got to make those catches.
Jaworski, after having a great Senior Bowl down in Mobile, was drafted in the 2nd round by the Los Angeles Rams when he came out as a virtual unknown out of Youngstown State. Took the Eagles to the Super Bowl. Here's a throw up the middle, and taking the ball is Jensen on 3rd down, but see if he got enough for the first down. It's going to be very close. Gene Barth says he got it, so twice tonight Jensen's come into the game on 3rd down and made the first down reception.
Excellent offense by the Miami Dolphins. We've seen an awful lot of this, and he runs very good routes. Here's Mike Harden making the tackle, making the bump, making the knockdown. Anyway, Jensen picks up the first down.
Shula says the only place he wouldn't use Jensen if he had it would be in the offensive or defensive lines. He can play everything else on the field.
Banks.
Nice throw. Gordon Banks, the fastest Dolphin, fighting to make this team. Makes the first down reception on a first down throw. 18-yard gain on the play. Freddie Banks.
Rick Dennison on the tackle. That was a fine pattern run by Freddie Banks, and Jaworski stayed with it. You know, Jaworski, for his age, still has a very strong arm. And obviously, in this offense, if you're going to back up Dan Marino, you do have to have a strong arm. The patterns are there for a very strong arm quarterback like Dan Marino.
Jaworski getting a look the whole second half so far. Goes the distance. Pruitt going for the ball and can't make the reception down at the 15-yard line. Jaworski still with the long arm, live arm. That was a first down throw. Tried to catch the Bronco defenders up.
Steve Wilson in coverage. Tim Lucas, number 59, good pressure on the quarterback. And that was good coverage by Wilson. He would have taken a perfect throw, and it was just out of Pruitt's reach.
Denver Broncos looking for their 22nd win in 32 preseason games, and Dan Reeves took over. Broncos leading the Dolphins 10-3. On 2nd and 10, Lorenzo Hampton running in the open field is ahead and close to a first down. To the 43-yard line of the Broncos, it looked like a 10-yard gain.
Mecklenburg and Dennison in on the tackle, so obviously the starter is still in the game for Denver.
Tigers again found a way as they beat Chicago. Boston did the same over Western leader Oakland. Yankees in Seattle splitting a doubleheader. Mike Moore of the Mariners had 16 strikeouts in the second game. Baseball on NBC tomorrow. The A's and the Red Sox from Fenway, or the Astros and the Pirates from Three Rivers. Here is Lorenzo Hampton in the open field trying to get away from that last tackler, and Tyrone Braxton holds on.
Flag down. Looked like 56. Michael Brooks piled on a little bit. That's a 13-yard gain.
56 defense.
That's the call, Trump. Personal foul call against Michael Brooks. So more yardage is added on.
That'll be a 28-yard gain. This is an excellent block by Randy McMillan up front. Really does a great job on Randy Robbins' 48. And watch the hit.
I think Tyrone Braxton also tried to separate the leg bone from that hip bone.
And Brooks, he's definitely on the ground. That's Spearing.
Lorenzo Hampton running well, 56 yards and 8 carries.
McMillan.
Randy McMillan trying to cut back, gets inside the 15-yard line, and a first down carry. He got 2. Was hit hard.
Rick Dennison, that inside linebacker for the Denver Broncos defense, standing there waiting. Good tackle once again. Very strong in the shoulders to wrap up Randy McMillan. A gain of about a yard, maybe a yard and a half.
11 minutes and 35 seconds to play in the ball game. Miami Dolphins driving. They trailed Denver 10-3. Play is whistled dead. Infraction before the snap of the ball.
I think that was too much time, which is very odd.
Ball start, 74 offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
That makes more sense. Mark Dennis, the offensive tackle.
Now look at the National League scoreboard. Still nothing happening at Dodger Stadium or at Candlestick. Houston defeated Pittsburgh earlier this evening. San Diego continues to lead the Mets by a 2-0 count. Second and very long, 2nd and 14. Jaworski throws and makes the stomach. Down with the ball is Farrell Edmonds, the rookie tight end from Maryland, as he takes down a couple of Broncos, and he's down for a gain of 7 yards.
Rick Dennison again on the tackle along with Tyrone Braxton. Actually, I kind of expected Farrell Edmonds to get more business tonight. I thought they'd thrown the ball a lot more. Jaworski staying with him, looks outside. Evans makes a nice catch, and then he's a tough kid. 6'5", 235 out of Maryland, size 16 shoe. That's why he's hard to get off his feet.
Well grounded. And 4.6 speed for 250 pounds.
We got a timeout for us.
Timeout on the field with 10:24 to play. Denver continues to lead by 7, but the Dolphins behind Jaworski are driving.
Tonight's game is brought to you by Bud Light, proud sponsor of the 1988 U.S. Olympic team. Everything else is just a light. By Pizza Hut's new hand-tossed traditional pizza. Pizza Hut, making it great. And by BMW, the ultimate driving machine. To arrange a thorough test drive, phone your nearest BMW dealer.
That's Freddie Banks. He's got an ice bag on his ribs. Our report is he'll return. I don't think they mean tonight, though. He looks like he's out for the duration here.
Jaworski in the shotgun on 3rd down and 6. Jaws with a little age on him, still has some speed. He's heading for the end zone, and Jaws is not in. He's down to the 1, but he's got a 6 down.
I don't believe that. Mike Pardon finally knocks him out. 10 yards on the pickup. Sheer unadulterated fear propelled Ron Jaworski down there. Not ever known as a running quarterback. That's a heck of a job. When this snap comes, you can see it draws him left. And all of a sudden, the pressure's all over it. Rulon Jones, 75, allows, he loses containment. Jaworski outside all the way down to the, puts his head down. And his leg is out of bounds. Good call by the official. It looks like the replay official is looking at it. I think that's a good call. Looked like he slid out of bounds. He was not tackled, but he slid out of bounds.
Dolphins driving for a tying touchdown if they can get in and hit the extra point. With 10:15 to play in the game, Denver continues to lead 10-3. Broncos' only touchdown came on a sustained 16-play, 80-yard drive after the opening kickoff. Gerald Wilhite scored from in close.
And that's a first down, and the instant replay booth is not looking at it. And we haven't had an instant replay check tonight to this point.
He got it out to the 1-yard line. First and goal from there. I set. Extra tight end. Hardy in motion. Over the top goes Stratford, and he leans up and over and in. And the Dolphins score, and now they're an extra point away from tying the Broncos at 10-all.
Stratford has been out of the game for a long time. Don Shula brings him right back in. You mentioned at the outset that both these coaches like to win exhibition games, preseason games, whatever you want to call them. Now, this is where I'd like to see the two-point conversion brought back into the NFL. I know a lot of coaches would not like it because of the decision, but I think it's a great part of the game.
Very sound place kicker. Fuad Reveiz hits the extra point. Up and good, and we're tied 10-all with 10:10 to play in the game.
Again, Ron Jaworski was the big man on the snap. Good lead block by Davenport. Stratford over the top for the score. Tie score, 10-10.
Reveiz picks up for Miami. Clark fumbles the return, picks it up, and turns to the outside. Where Don McNeil runs him out of bounds across the 20 to about the 23. Jaworski had some drive right there, Trump.
Yes, he did. And that play where he ran the ball out of the pocket, actually out of the shotgun, watch how accurate the officials are here. Watch his left leg. Jaworski heads down, knee touches, right at the 1-yard line. That drive, Jaworski was 4 of 6 throwing.
Somebody's got to touch him, though, for him to be down.
Well, but he went out of bounds, so that counts. Rushed for 10 yards and was 3 for 3 in third down conversions to tie the score.
And also had a 10-yard run. So we're tied up now. Kubiak working at quarterback for the Denver Broncos. Pitches back. Warren Marshall runs the ball, and not very far on a first down play. He got to about the 25. Gain of 2 or 3 yards. Running him out of bounds was Eric Kummerow, who's having far and away his best game as a Dolphin, their #1 pick out of Ohio State. They had hoped when he came in to use him much like A.J. Dewey was used, as a linebacker and as a defensive end. But in picking up the system, they decided to keep him just at defensive end till he's ready.
Yeah, then they'll start making a linebacker out of him.
Downfield throw, a little bit high for Grady, and Kubiak was hit hard as he released the ball. Sam Grady, that Olympic sprinter who won gold and silver at Los Angeles in '84. But he wasn't a high jumper, and it was too much on this.
That looked like Mike Lambrecht, who really nailed Gary Kubiak. Yeah, Lambrecht, 69, really gets in his chest. Grady rounded that pattern. And for players with great speed, especially former track players, the most difficult thing for them to learn is to cut. I played with Tommy Smith.
He could run.
We had to try to slow him down so he could play the game.
Nice throw. It's Grady with the ball on the run. The fastest player on the field gets it out to the 47-yard line.
Who caught him?
Sam Grady. He waited and waited, and Lifford Hobley got him.
That was either Hobley or it was William Judson.
Thornton Thomas was also on the play of rookies. He's coming across the middle, though. He comes from left to right, or right to left, as we're watching here.
Yeah, that's William Judson that
finally
catches
gets him.
I'm impressed. I mean, that's a desperation dive to get him, but he does catch it.
So the Broncos in this tie game with 8:30 to play now get a first down. Kubiak looking deep, has players going long, but he dumps it off. Incomplete to Sewell. It'll be second down and 10 for Denver at the Broncos' 46-yard line.
That's just lack of playing time together. Kubiak had Sewell wide open. Sewell hesitated for a minute. Kubiak overthrew him.
This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League and is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Miami Dolphins and the National Football League is prohibited. Kubiak with a lone setback on a 2nd and 10 play. Picked off. The Dolphins get it back. Their first turnover. Coming up with the ball for Miami is Beasley, Jerry Beasley, a linebacker, and a long shot to make this team. Makes a huge play for the Dolphins.
That ball was intended for Steve Sewell. Kubiak should have never thrown it. You see the crowd that's created there, the tight end. Beasley right in front of him, hangs on to it. The only turnover of the night for the Miami Dolphins, and with 8:16 to go in the fourth quarter, score tied. I believe they refer to that as a timely turnover in favor of Miami.
And it certainly extended, or probably extended, Jerry Beasley's career another week. This week's a cut-down date down to 60. Hampton stuffed at the line as the Broncos fire out the ball on defense. Boyer, 65, made the play. Freddie Gilbert, who normally starts at left end, is out with a leg injury. He'll be back for the regular season opener.
You know, Denver still got almost their entire starting defense in there. I do notice they just brought in a linebacker, Randy Thornton. And first down play, they had Rulon Jones. They had Andrew Province. They had Boyer, Dennison, Mecklenburg, Ryan, and Fletcher. That's their front 7 defensive people.
It was 7-3 at halftime, Denver. Now it's 10-10 after the Dolphins have tied the score with 7:36 left to play in the game. Jaworski against the big rush, throws and skips it in on the 1/2 to Schwede. Incomplete at the 36-yard line. It's interesting, Schwede's father was captain of a national championship team at Syracuse in '59, Gerhard Schwede. One of his teammates, Brian Kinchin, his dad was a player in the '58 national championship team at LSU.
Wait a minute, isn't that about the time that Jim Brown was there in '59?
He was out in '57.
'57? Ben Schwartzwalder, the coach?
Sure was. The old paratrooper.
They put out some football teams back then, didn't they, and some players?
He's doing it right now. Dropping to throw is Jaworski, and he gets a screen pass off to Lorenzo Hampton. What a block. A crushing block by Mark Dennis, and Lorenzo Hampton's all the way down to the 24-yard line.
Mark Dennis got 2 blocks. This is a rollout screen. Jaworski goes to the right. This ought to look nice on the film. This is very well executed. Now watch out in front of him, 74. Hampton with the ball. Dennis he's right in front of him. He gets 2 blocks. All you can do is see his feet. He does an excellent job. 24-yard pickup. Crash Jensen out there in front, number 11. And James Pruitt, the wide receiver.
74, Mark Dennis obliterated 2 would-be tacklers, and now on the run, not getting much is Randy McMillan for the Dolphins, as shooting the gap was linebacker Bruce Klosterman, number 97 for Denver. Brings up 2nd down and 10. Klosterman, as we mentioned earlier, challenging for a starting position. He's been one of the standouts in training camp. Game clock down to 6:50 and running. As you see, it's a 10-10 game.
Drizzling again. At this point, no one in Joe Robbie Stadium seems to mind, though. They're pretty much
seem to mind when it comes down like a hurricane. They throw on those orange rain jackets. Up go the bumper chute. 10 minutes later, when the rain stops, everything's back to normal. Here's a handoff, and running well again is Lorenzo Hampton. He's down to the 17-yard line. 6-yard gain for Hampton, and Coach Reeves is not pleased.
Coach Reeves will he'll fill your ear. He does not mind doing this. Again, an excellent lead block by, this time, Ron Davenport, number 30. Also a good kick out by Galbraith. And Lorenzo Hampton carries a few tacklers with him, but his offensive line and running mate pretty much did the job for him there. 5.9 yards a carry. Any coach would like that.
Hampton, a left side runner. He likes to go left.
There's Jensen again right next to Jaworski.
Jaws throws. He's not close. Very nearly a marker. Dolphins are looking for one. They don't get it.
Well, you got to go for the field goal here. Schwades looked like the intended receiver on the slant. 38 Braxton is Plummer is the defensive man. Can I throw a flag now? Does it count?
Not now. The play is history, and so it goes as an incomplete pass, and now Reves, who has been kicking well tonight, looks to put the Dolphins in the lead for the first time. 34-yard attempt is up, and it's good. And so with 5:34 left to play, the Miami Dolphins take the lead for the first time, 13-10, and Miami will kick it off when we come back to Joe Robbie Stadium. Back at Joe Robbie Stadium, the Dolphins have taken the lead for the first time. Now lead Denver 13-10. This is a very big game for a lot of young football players because a lot of careers are going to close next Monday.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I think a lot of players could make the football team right now if Miami's defense is able to hold Denver. Don Shula will be favorably impressed. It's going to be interesting to see exactly who Dan Reeves puts out there in offense.
The Broncos break it into open field. Jason Johnson takes it all the way across midfield and down to about, got to get a spot him down to the 49-yard line. Reves, the kicker, made the tackle, maybe a game-saving tackle.
You talked about guys making the team. Most of the young kids that are drafted or free agents get their first opportunity on special teams. As Dan Reeves said, you come into the league on special teams and you leave on special teams. And allowing this big return at this stage in the game.
43-yarder by
43-yarder.
Jason Johnson. And now let's see what the Broncos can do as they trail for the first time, 13-10. A lot of time left, 5:20 to go. Kubiak goes to the run. Dolphins come a-hitting on Warren Marshall. Getting a long look tonight. Big back from James Madison, 220-pounder, with speed.
Linebacker Beasley is wearing Dwight Stevenson's number 57. Stevenson, their all-pro center, probably the best center in the game when healthy. There's number 57, playing linebacker. Well, when you get hurt, they wash that jersey and put somebody else's name on it, don't they?
Dwight Stevenson's a Hall of Fame candidate. That's how good Dwight Stevenson's been. Trying to come back from surgery, and right now the Broncos go back to the run on a 2nd down and 7 play. They give it to Steve Sewell, a rangy runner at 6'3", 210 pounds. He takes it inside the Dolphin 45-yard line, and the Broncos are close to a first down. 3rd and short coming up. 3rd and 2.
Now, the one thing that has impressed me throughout this ball game with the Denver offense is Dan Reeves has done a great job of calling plays from a multitude of formations with a lot of different people, so that Miami has never really gotten set on what Denver's going to do next.
It's 13-10 Miami in the lead. Denver starting to challenge now late in the game. Here's a throw and a catch. First down Broncos. They go back to Warren Marshall. He makes the play. Kubiak with the throw, good for 5. That's easy for him to say, but they're not a bad football team. Denver 2-0 in the preseason.
Well, they open against Seattle at home. That's a war.
Marshall gets out, gets some good yardage. Warren Marshall running well. Bud Collins, the free safety, came up and got him.
10 yards, and they are definitely in Rich Carlos's range. If you're thinking field goal.
Interesting, Trump. Larry Lee, number 68 for Denver, a former Bronco, or former Dolphin. He was leading the blocking. Talking to Marino before the game, his kid Larry Lee said they cut him last year. He went to Denver and came back with a Super Bowl ring. He had a bag over his shoulder. Marino said it's full of money. Second and 6. Great trap blocking in the front line of the Broncos. Busts open the Miami defense, and the Broncos take it down to the Dolphin 27-yard line. Jerry Beasley, who made the interception, made the stop, but the Broncos have a first down.
I think this is Don Shula's biggest concern throughout the season. That when you need your defense to stop a drive, you don't need to be a suffocating defense like the Giants or the Redskins, but just stop that key drive. This defense can't.
Kubiak on a draw after Warren Marshall ran, and Sewell takes the ball down to the 22-yard line. As we are approaching the 2-minute warning, Dolphins in the lead for the first time in the game, 13-10. A light rain falling.
They won't run another play. They'll take a rest here.
There's the place kicker getting set. He'll be called down. We could be going to OT, Trump.
Yes, sir.
Round of lights here.
The running yardage, it has been a big part of the game on the Dolphins' last drive. 10 of it on the run by quarterback Jaworski, who's got him a first and goal at the 1. 13-10 is the score now. Miami in the lead for the first time in the game with 2 minutes to play. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy here at Joe Robbie Stadium. Of course, it is the goal of all NFL teams to be here on January 22nd, 1989, when Super Bowl 23 will be played here and seen on NBC Sports. Our producer tonight for NBC is Larry Cirillo. Our director, Ted Nathanson. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Michael Weissman. As the Broncos, with their backup quarterback, Gary Kubiak, directing the offense and very well after Elway played the first half, now sets up with a 2nd down and 6 play coming up. Marshall is caught and thrown down by Mark Brown.
Big play, Brown.
Loss of 2. It'll be 3rd and 8 for the Broncos.
That's a big play. He cheated the line of scrimmage. Right through there when the guard pulled. Mark Brown was right there to make the tackle. Marshall had no chance whatsoever to go anywhere. I think right now, if you're Tom Alibadati, the defensive coordinator of the Dolphins, you do have to take a chance with a blitz now. Try to get the sack. Try to get that minus yardage. Shotgun.
3rd and 7 is the number. 3 and 7, and here's the throw as a marker goes down. A tip ball, beautifully done on the defensive secondary. Rodney Thomas, the rookie defensive back from BYU, knocked the ball down, but there is a marker down at the line of scrimmage.
I think it's against Denver. Sam Grady was the intended receiver, I believe, as you said, Don.
He runs that left to right over the middle, Sam Grady.
Yeah, you got to take this penalty. David Fry, 53, standing up there. You almost have to.
Illegal use of the hand. 68 offense. 10-yard penalty. Will replay the 3rd down.
You got to take him out of field goal range here. That's Larry Lee, the guy with the AFC Conference Championship ring. Now, if you're Miami, you can bring in a 5th or 6th defensive back. If you're Denver, you're looking for about a 10-yard pattern.
Grady goes wide to the left, and a long yardage play for Kubiak and the Broncos. They trail 13-10 with 1:13 to play. Off to 35. Kubiak gets some time. There's a throw, and the ball is separated from Sewell at the 11-yard line. Clifford Hobley, the strong safety from LSU, very nearly intercepted. And now a long-range field goal try comes up, and Dan Reeves, wanting to see what people have under pressure, is sending in a tryout kicker.
Now, this is closer to a reception by Sewell. Watch this. Now, Hobley's got to come back for that football. He almost allows Sewell to get his hands on that football. David Treadwell in to try the field goal.
David Treadwell, who is from Clemson, rookie kicker, getting set for a 52-yard field goal try. Down the way.
That's enough.
David Treadwell hits a 52-yard field goal to tie the game with 61 seconds to play. Officially a 51-yarder. The Rays wanted to see what he had with the heat on, and he had it all.
It was a low line drive kick, but he got all of it. Actually, he takes this rather well, too. Kubiak does a good job on the spot. He keeps his head down, really follows through. Does he see it? He's got to get up to see it. Yeah, nothing to it. I'd say at the beach. And Rich Carlos, the kicker on the sideline, I'm sure very supportive of David Treadwell.
Well, Treadwell will be back to kick another week.
He really keeps his head down and follows through. 82 Pruitt there almost to make the block. Yeah, just like practice. No big deal.
Minute and a second, as you see, left to play here at Joe Robbie Stadium. We have a moment. We'd like to give thanks to NBC's chief statistician Joe Costanza and his assistants Ken Lee and Rick Butler, and to our spotters Bo McComas and Harry Von Suskill. Right now, Frank kicks off for the Denver Broncos, and we'll see what Miami can do with a minute to play. Here comes Jarvis Williams, a rookie, breaking it for the moment across the 25-yard line and out to the 26.
So Jaworski comes back into the lineup.
Marino went the whole first half. Jaworski will go the whole second as he tries to get his team in field goal range, and they've gone. They know who their kicker is, Quad Reves, and he can hit it from way out if they get him in position.
Denver again. I see Carl Mecklenburg in there. Rulon Jones in there. Miami has 3 timeouts. All 3. Miami has 2.
They got their front line in there. Here's the Broncos. Dumps it over the middle to Crash Jensen, who can't get to the ball. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from the 28-yard line.
Miami does have 2 timeouts remaining.
James Pruitt is in as one of the wide receivers for Miami. Schwades is also in. Jaworski on 2nd down and 10, setting up in the shotgun at his 22, backpedaling against the run. Throws. He's too low at the 34-yard line for James Pruitt, so it brings up 3rd down and 10.
Look at Harden, the starting free safety. 49, Dennis Smith, the starting strong safety. Joe Collier has got his, I believe he's got his starting defensive backfield in there. Castile at one corner. Randy Robbins is the 5th defensive back.
Denver defense changed dramatically this past week when Dan Reeves sent a very loud message to his team. Tony Lilly, who's been the starting safety, started in the last 2 Super Bowls, was cut. Gave up some long balls in the Super Bowl and some in preseason. They cut him. Really stunned the team. Jaworski throws, and he's incomplete. Short of his target on 3rd down and 10. So now Miami has to punt from deep in its own end. And And the Broncos will have some time to work to get in field goal range as Coach Shula looks on with 41 seconds to play.
I wonder if they'll bring Sam Grady in here to try to block the punt again. It worked once. Why not try it again?
Reggie Roby. He had the 1-6-yarder when it was tipped by Grady.
They're coming after it.
What a shot. Wilhite all the way back to his 19-yard line, but now he's on the run and finally taken down at the 32-yard line. So there, with 29 seconds left to play in regulation after a 55-yard punt and a 15-yard return, the Broncos with Kubiak at quarterback will try to get in field goal range.
Well, we got overtime coming here. They'll stop for a couple of minutes. Visiting team calls the flip. Generally speaking, the team that gets the ball first wins the game.
Interesting also, Trump, the Dolphins are hoping to be a visiting team here at Joe Robbie Stadium in January. If they should get to the Super Bowl, the NFC team would be the home team. They'd be on the opposite side as the visitor, but happy to be the visitor.
I think they could handle that, yes.
13 Super Bowls have passed since Miami's won one. Throw and a catch out to the 40-yard line. Clock down to 21 seconds. Down to 20. Finally, they let 6 seconds elapse and call a timeout with 17 seconds left.
What do you do here now if you're Dan Reeves?
Throw deep and out.
I don't know. I think I'd try a... the Miami Dolphins have tried in the past to what's called a hook and lateral. They just ran Sewell on the hook there. You run a back out of the backfield, and after the catch is made by the first receiver, you lateral it back to the second guy and see if he can run for a touchdown. You got to try a trick play to get it in the end zone here with 17 seconds left, and I think they have Denver has one timeout left. They have 2 timeouts left, excuse me.
Last year at Mile High Stadium, the Broncos beat the Dolphins in preseason play 31-28. Looked like this game would be high scoring. Both teams moving the ball at ease. Their first possession, Broncos went 80 yards for a touchdown. Denver, and then Miami came back and went 82 yards, but lost it on a fumble inside the Denver 5. It was 7-3 Denver at halftime. Now it's 13-13. There's the long out pattern broken up. Going for Natil. Coming over to make the play was the 5th-round draft choice, Rodney Thomas, number 45. And 11 seconds show in regulation with the game tied.
Ricky Natil, the intended receiver. Nice out pattern, but I think the defense was right with him. There's John Elway motioning in the signals. Here's Natil. I'll tell you, Rodney Thomas is right with him. Was not fooled a bit. They were roommates at Florida. So one's got to know the other one's moves very well.
Third and short. And with 3 seconds left, the ball is advanced to the 45-yard line. Jarvis Williams playing strong football in the secondary. He was the Gator that played with Natil there. And also challenging for a spot in this roster is Rodney Thomas, who's another rookie playing well in the secondary.
David Fry on the tackle. Really deposited the running back to the ground. I think you got to try one in the end zone, don't you?
Only place to go unless you got to get Tom Dempsey out of retirement.
Well, if you're ever going to use Sam Grady in a game-winning situation with world-class speed, I think this is it.
Getting Flutie out there.
Yeah, and I don't believe Sam Grady is in there. And Clarence Kay comes back in the ball game.
It appears we'll be going to overtime here at Joe Robbie Stadium. Yep, Sam Grady, the fastest Bronco on the sideline. Last play in regulation coming up as Gary Kubiak of Denver sets up at his 40-yard line. 3 wide receivers will run from the left. Top of your screen. That's where he's heading. All he's got, and he's got a lot. Intercepted by Miami to end regulation at the 15-yard line.
Kubiak got hammered, absolutely hammered. Tried to step into the pass to really throw it a long way. Jarvis Williams came up with the interception, but you can see Kubiak reaching for his ribs. He really got nailed. Watch what happens here. He kind of gets up in the air because he's throwing it so hard, and wham!
Did get hammered.
That's Lambrecht that really just parks him right on the floor of Joe Robbie Stadium. Dan Marino out. Sammy Winder out. Winder will call it.
You want the toss? You want the ball? Which way you want to kick?
Denver starts the overtime with the ball.
Don't pull an Abner Haynes. Winder and the Broncos win the toss, and they'll receive when we come back to start overtime, and we'll be right back with a score tied 13-13 after these messages from your local station. This is Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy back at Joe Robbie Stadium in North Miami, where the Dolphins and the Broncos have just completed regulation of this preseason game, tied 13-13. Gary Kubiak, who worked the second half for the Denver Broncos, will work the overtime also at quarterback. Ron Jaworski's gone the distance in the second half for Miami at quarterback. The two superstars who quarterback these teams regularly, John Elway of Denver and Dan Marino of Miami, both worked the first half and are now at rest.
At rest. That's a good way to put it. Take no chances with those franchise players.
A lot of discussions about that football should give the team that doesn't win the toss a chance at the ball also in overtime, but that's not the case, and more often than not, the team that wins the flip gets downfield and kicks a field goal.
I'm not a big fan of overtime. That's why I like the two-point conversion. I think that is a bigger factor than going to overtime, because at least that's fairer.
We'll be checking the baseball scoreboard in a minute as Quadreves now kicks off for Miami. High spinning kick downfield. Ricky Nattiel takes off with the ball. Hemmed in nicely and touchdown at the 20-yard line by Miami tacklers. Jim Jensen made the play. Texas beat Minnesota in the American League tonight. Detroit by a run over the White Sox. Boston stayed 3 back by beating Oakland. The Yankees and Seattle split a doubleheader. In the National League, Dodgers now lead Montreal 2-0 in the 5th. Giants and Phillies scoreless in the 5th. Houston beat Pittsburgh. San Diego continues to lead the Mets 2-0. Now in Major League Baseball on NBC Sports, the A's and the Red Sox meet at Fenway, or you'll see the Astros and the Pirates from Pittsburgh. First down and 10 for the Denver Broncos in this overtime game. Warren Marshall tries to turn out. Oh, he's thrown back.
Hey, Thompson.
Rene Thompson, number 24, is the man.
Stuck it. Really stuck it.
John Elway with some counsel for his friend Gary Kubiak will be going in.
And Elway's in the game. Kubiak signals plays into him. Kubiak in the game. Elway does the same service for Kubiak.
A wide shot is Kubiak. Running the ball, going to throw it on second down and 10. Gets it upfield. Pat Kelly. Tight end makes the play. First-year player, and he's to the 27.
The NFL has just informed us that it's not always the team that wins the coin flip in overtime that wins.
Not always, but more than often than not, I said.
Apparently it breaks down 50-50, but that's stated by Larry Scarilla, so I'm just passing along what he just said.
Kubiak on third down and 3. Lips it over the middle and in the open field. Running with the ball is Warren Marshall. He's across midfield and down to the 47-yard line of Miami. Kubiak stands in, and he connects with Warren Marshall on a 26-yard gainer on third down.
A and B circle. He just goes outside the defensive end, puts a nice move on Brzezinski, and then the foot speed of Marshall pulls him away. Nice little move here. Then he puts his head down. Look at the forearm shiver that he puts in there.
Kubiak's been taking a pounding.
That's a leg whip.
They got a tough assignment cutting down this Denver backfield. There's a lot of good players there, and Marshall is certainly one of them. Marshall again. He's big and fast. Running on that slant, he gets inside the 45-yard line for a gain of 4. We're in overtime with a game tied 13-13.
Mark Brown on the tackle. He is a big kid. Nice trap. Larry Lee, 68, pull up through there. Beasley, 57, does a good job of at least stopping the trap. 4-yard pickup, 2nd and 6.
Broncos got to overtime when a kicker trying out David Treadwell out of Clemson hit a 52-yarder. Now Marshall shows speed, fires to turn the corner. He's run down at the 42-yard line. 3rd down and 5 is coming up for Denver.
Now Carlos is warming up. Well, if you're Dan Reeves, Treadwell makes a 52-yarder. Do you go back to your bread and butter kicker and Rich Carlos? They need about 10 yards. Actually, they need about 15.
Third and 5 for the Denver Broncos in this overtime game, tied 13-13. Kubiak throws, and he's too high, and Denver has to punt the ball unless they're going to try a super long shot. They're sending a punter out. Kubiak's getting ripped every play when he releases the ball. Watch him get pounded here.
This time David Fry, the linebacker, in there on the blitz, and boom, it gets crowded back there in a hurry.
Snap, ball is taken up, hit downfield. After Frank's punt will be down at the 17-yard line. Jarvis Williams, the return man, and now with a 26-yard punt, Kubiak goes to the sideline, and Jaworski comes running out onto the field to try to get Miami in field goal position in this overtime. Big down now, 3rd down for Jaworski and the Miami Dolphins as he's dropped back to his 10. Well, that's a rip. Got a man. It's a 1st down to Pruitt. Lost on cutting back, but he's out to the 37-yard line for a gain of 17 yards.
Looked like he was trying to make a big play out of that. Turned one way, didn't see anybody. Turned back. All of a sudden found the ground. He's a big play receiver that they believe has a great deal of talent. Just sometimes he runs undisciplined patterns. He also drops the easy one. Now watch this move. Actually faked himself out. Harden, the starting free safety, there to make the tackle.
We're now 5 minutes and 10 seconds into the overtime. 13-13 as the Dolphins run it on 1st down. Lorenzo Hampton tries to go wide. And Simon Fletcher, that big, rangy outside linebacker, a former defensive end, runs him down.
He's a starting outside linebacker. You can tell that Joe Collier is doing everything he possibly can to give his team his best chance possible to win this game in overtime.
And on Simon Fletcher's recommendation, a former teammate of his at Houston got a tryout with Denver, Randy Thornton, also an outside linebacker, and he's been one of their best players in training camp. Quad Reves, the Miami place kicker, pacing the sideline. 2nd down and 8. Miami, overtime game, 13-13. Throw and a catch. Swady. Jack Swady, the 2nd-round draft choice out of Syracuse a year ago, makes a 13-yard catch.
K.C. Clark on the coverage. Single coverage out here. Good pattern run. Sharp turn. Jaworski puts it there right on the money and on time. Easy catch. 1st down, Miami.
1st down it is, just across midfield.
Sean Beals, wide receiver in the ballgame now for Miami. Bottom of the screen.
At the top, that's Schwade's. The run they go. Here comes Lorenzo Hampton. He's inside the 45-yard line of the Broncos and down close to the 40. Knocked down by Michael Brooks and K.C. Clark of Denver. Game clock shows 8 minutes to play in this overtime period. If it should go through 15 minutes of overtime,
we go home. They don't play double overtimes in exhibition. Revay's trying to loosen up his leg. They're at the 41. They need to get to about the 35. That's 17. That's 52-yard field goal. That's within Claude Revay's range.
Hampton runs. Denver doesn't give him anything. He gets to the 40, needed 2, and he's going to be, well, let's see, he might have gotten enough. He's going to be just short of the first down as Andre Townsend made the stop for the Broncos.
Boy, if Dan Reeves wanted his team to go through a heavy workout tonight, he got it. Overtime and heat and humidity in Miami. Rain. There'll be some cramping going on in that plane going back to Denver tonight.
They go right back tonight, don't they?
Oh, sure, they fly right back.
3rd and short. Over the top. Dolphins get a first down and keep this overtime drive alive. They're down to the 39-yard line. In Don Shula's 18 previous seasons as head coach of the Dolphins, they've had winning records 17 times. They were 8-7. Which is a winning record, but un-Shula-like. He's not pleased with that last season.
Their problem last season, they were 2-6 in the division. Power in the AFC East has shifted to Indianapolis and Buffalo.
And I think a sharp eye in New England also. Jaws throws. He makes a perfect connection. A beautifully done play. Into the 28-yard line. Back judge right there says he had it. Sean Beals, the wide receiver free agent from Idaho State, turning out, and Jaworski delivers between the 1 and the 5.
This is a nice pattern. Watch him come back with his football. Gets around the sideline, it deadens his feet, catches it, and then falls out of bounds. There's a great deal of experience right there.
They're down to the 29, so it would be a 46-yard attempt from there. 7 back and 10 more into the end zone.
Good play by Beals. No, I think the replay booth is looking at it.
I think he had it, though.
Umpire is taking a look.
First down.
It confirms the call by the official. That's a great job by Beals. Young receivers have that tendency right out of college. You know, 1 foot inbounds in college is a catch. They put that other foot to support them. Here, your legs just kind of go out from underneath you. You make the catch and fall out of bounds for a first down.
We are now almost 9 minutes into overtime. The game is tied 13-13. Don Criqui with Bob Trumpy at Joe Robbie Stadium. Broncos led at the half 7-3. And then Denver had to get a long field goal from a rookie, David Treadwell, 52-yarder to tie the game at the close of regulation to send it to overtime. Claude Revay is the man who kicks field goals for the Dolphins. Number 7 getting set on the sideline. 1st and 10 from the 29-yard line of the Broncos for Miami. Hampton down to the 25-yard line.
Hang on to the football now.
2 arms on the ball.
Wow.
A lot of offense in the game.
Close to 700 yards of offense. That's not bad at all. But then both of these teams do produce a great deal of offense. Look at Dan Reeves. He's still encouraging his troops from the sideline.
11th play of this drive in overtime. Jaworski's gone to the 3rd, 4th, and now the overtime period for Miami at quarterback. Takes them out of field goal range, a 2nd and 6 play, and the sack is a loss of about 13 yards as Walt Boyer makes the play for the Broncos. Andrew Province was also on it.
Miami tricked himself. There's Don Shula talking to David Shula. Oh,
That was a 42-yarder from that line of scrimmage, which is a chip shot for Reveiz, or not a chip shot, but certainly not a difficult long-distance kick.
That's a loss of 11 yards.
So now the ball is positioned back at the 36-yard line of Denver. 3rd down, and 16 comes up for Miami.
Timeout Denver. They only had 10 men on the field. 2, 4, 6, 8. They only had 10 men on the field. There's somebody missing. Here he comes. Who is he? Jeremiah Castile is the last one on there.
Getting some counsel from the defensive coordinator, Joe Collier, who's lasted through a lot of coaches, head coaches. He's as much a part of the franchise as Mile High.
Yes, he is. He's been through a lot of owners, not just a lot of coaches.
Interesting, Pat Bowlen. You've never experienced a game at Denver. It's really one of the most exciting places to see an event. Mile High Stadium. 76,000 with 50,000 on the waiting list for tickets. Don't go there looking to buy a ticket because there aren't any. But Pat Bowlen said he found out shortly after he bought the team that he's not the owner. He's the caretaker. The people of Colorado own it. There's Pat Bowlen.
He likes it on the sideline.
Triathlete. They don't spare any expense. 16 assistant coaches at the moment with Dan Reeves. Big down now in this game as Jaworski takes the deep drop. He throws, and he's got Pruitt, who fumbles again. Did he catch it? It looks like a free ball on the field. And now Sheik gets the ball. If it was a catch and a fumble, it's Miami's ball, and they're in field goal range.
31-17. It's going to be a 48-yard attempt. And Dan Reeves is upset that nobody could get on that ball. Those ex-football players that played in the NFL, they have a tendency, to cheat that white line, dive out there on that ball, ensure victory.
Dan lost his hat in that protest. So it was a catch by Pruitt, a hit and a fumble. Watch again.
Denver's in zone. Harden, the free safety on the hit. Pruitt has coughed the ball up.
Tyrone Braxton had a play on it, and then rookie, actually veteran Mark Dennis was the guy who got the ball. So the Dolphins set up for what will be a game-winning field goal if they make it. From the 39, it'll be a 49-yard attempt. 48 officially. Well, how can they hold it to 49 if it's a 48?
I think they're looking to see if this was a catch.
After review of instant replay, the call stands.
I thought they were looking to see if Pruitt's second foot came down to make that a real catch. Jaworski holds.
So this overtime game comes down now to this kick. It's on the way. It has enough behind it, and it's through. Claude Reveiz, and the hold by Jaworski was as big as the kick. Had to handle a low snap, and he gets it down. Reveiz hits it, and the Dolphins win in overtime, 16-13.
Dan Reeves not happy. He is, to say the least, intense. There's David Treadwell, the guy who kicked the field goal to tie. Congratulating Claude Reveiz. Two of the league's best right there.
They are. The joy and the disappointment, not as great as it will be in a couple of weeks. So I'm picking MVP for us, Coach.
I'll take Reveiz. 48-yard field goal to that kind of pressure.
Now it's time for the Most Valuable Player Award, sponsored by Budweiser. Today's MVP is Claude Reveiz from the Miami Dolphins. To hit the game-winning field goal in overtime, Budweiser will make a contribution to the United Way on behalf of tonight's MVP. And there's some talent walking off together.
Well, there's a checkbook walking out together, too.
Could start a bank. And they're worth it.
Carlos and Reveiz.
Low snap. Jaworski gets it down. Roves puts a charge into it and drills it from 48 yards out.
You know, Jaworski may make this ball club just the way he holds the ball on field goals. Tonight he did a great job on 2 of them.
So that will do it. Roves wins it in overtime. The game was almost 11 minutes into overtime when he hit the game-winning field goal. Now for Bob Trumpy, this is Don Criqui reminding you to stay tuned for your late local news on most of these NBC stations. Then it's Late Night with David Letterman, followed by Friday Night Videos. Viewers on the West Coast will see Sports World's 10th anniversary celebration after football. That's all tonight, only on NBC. Final here from Miami. Dolphins 16, Broncos 13. Glad you could be with us.